football for. It's if we happen to get rolled and Templestowe beat us, well, that's football, that's sport, and we get on with it, and we'll shake their hand, and we'll get on with life. But it's a great day. It's fantastic. Thank you.
Well done to you and your club. Marvellous effort, and it's going to be a good game. I reckon we might have a close one. That's my opinion anyway. So thank you to Peter Hards, the president of Upper Ferntree Gully, joining us. It's a busy day for a president.
Oh, there it is.
And he's got a double duty of being a nervous father as well.
Well, it is. I mean, look, the other thing is too. I mean, look, it's like I said, you don't get to a grand final too often. That's the bottom line. At the start of the year, you're up against 12 sides, and you've got to have a little bit of luck going your way, but you also got to play pretty good football, Gavin and Ray.
And Brash, it's not just a 6 month effort.
No.
As I said, this started 3 years ago when they got Chad Rogers in.
And the thing is too, nowadays, right, football, even at the local level now, most guys are now starting to train in November. So it's a nearly 10-month-a-year type of a commitment now.
It might be a bit silly to look back because we'll claim we tipped this and tipped that.
Yeah.
But is Upper Ferntree Gully, because everyone, I say everyone in the general sense, Templestowe, we all knew that they were going to be a great side this year. Did we know that Upper Ferntree Gully were going to match them and exceed their level?
Probably not at the start of the season. When we spoke to Andy Heyman early on in the season on one of our programs, and we asked him about, how's the club changed, and because they went out last year in straight sets, that really stung this club. The whole three sides went out, and from that point on, they've turned things around.
I think when Upper Ferntree Gully came into 2016, and obviously they have had an undefeated run, we didn't realise quite how good they were until around round 6, round 7, and then all of a sudden Tate Higginson comes back into the side, and they add another X-factor player to that team. So, Upper Ferntree Gully, I'm on the bandwagon of them today. I think they're going to win quite convincingly.
There was 2 results early on the season. The time they banished Heathmont away from them and cleared out for top 2.
Yep.
Then they defeated Templestowe, and people said, hang on, we might have got this wrong.
Yeah.
And ever since, they haven't looked back. They've set the pace.
No, and like you said, I mean, look, it's documented that Rick Irwin rested a lot of players in that round 18 contest to give his players the best possible preparation leading into a final series. But like you said, Gav, we can only go by the 2 previous encounters, and they were a point apiece.
Yeah.
So, I mean, look, if you take that performance out and then look at all the other factors, these 2 sides, I mean, up at Ferntree Gully, basically have been the best defence and offence all year.
Before we go into matchups and potential best on-ground players,
Yep.
How about Templestowe? Was that nerves that meant that they only just beat Ringwood, or do we underestimate the game last week?
I think we underestimate Ringwood. As I said, a month out of finals, no one gave Ringwood a chance of making finals. They come home like a train, and not only that, they won 2 very good finals.
Sometimes Gus, the preliminary final can actually be the hardest game in a final series to win, because mainly, especially if you've come and you've lost the second semi, then you feel a little bit of pressure. Whereas if you're coming from the first semi-final, there's a little bit of a mindset that
Nothing to lose,
because the more you win, you still keep getting that extra week if things go your way.
Yeah, they got on the wave of fun. They were enjoying the ride.
Yeah.
Now let's turn our focus to the 2 combatants. We all have our tips in mind, but let's look at some of the better players that we're going to look forward to. Is there matchups? Who's ready to go in terms of players we should look out for, and maybe some matchups?
Yeah.
Right? Or go, Gus.
Yeah, I think that the Mariani boys is going to be really key for Templestowe today, and I wouldn't be surprised if one of the Mariani boys matches up on Bryce Hards. I think he's been a superb player, and what I really like about Bryce is, I mentioned it on EFL Sunday this morning, is he goes forward and gets on the scoreboard as well. So I think if Templestowe can look to shut his running carry down and look to stop him going forward, I think that could go a really long way for the Kings getting a win today.
Look, we talk about midfielders for the Upper Ferntree Gully side as well, and I saw them in the second last game of the year when they were out at Warrandyte. I know Warrandyte were one of the lesser side, but their midfield, the way they work, and to me, a quiet achiever in that midfield is Jordan Whiteman. I just think he is an integral part of their midfield setup, but he doesn't get a lot of accolades. You talk about the bigger body midfielders.
I think one player, the bloke playing at full back, is also a very key player, Liam Galley. a young rising star. He's one of the premier defenders in Division 3. He rarely concedes many goals to his opponents. Probably the biggest job of his career today to play on big Kader Telefsky. I think that's...
he hasn't been playing well, the Telefsky, though, in the
no,
finals.
I think he's been struggling a little bit from injury, but then on the other hand, this morning, he's getting double-teamed and triple-teamed, and that's because the opposition know that they just can't afford to leave him one out, because he uses his body extremely well, right, especially if you put him down in the goal square, Gav.
So what about Matt Bain? Is he got to play more of a bullocking role and maybe be that other option? Because he's dropped out of a bit of form, whether it be fitness or related or not. They need more than Telefsky up forward, don't they?
Well, they need Matty Bain there to back him up. There's no doubt about that. But what's going to be interesting is, I know, as we said, the big man hasn't been really on fire over
No.
with. I wouldn't be surprised to see they go to Matty Bain as the main forward rather than Telefsky.
Yeah.
I think also too what works in Kader's favour, and I think if things get a little bit hard for Coach Rick Irwin, he might have to just clear the decks out, push all his forwards out, and just go one-on-one with Kader and bomb it into the goal and get it in the goal square and get him to start using his body, which is his major strength.
And down the other end of the ground, boys, Upper Ferntree Gully's forward line of Ryan Murray, obviously booting 45 goals a year, and Tate Hickleton, who we speak about quite frequently here on the media team, he's kicked 46 goals for the season to date. And boys, I think if those two players can get on a roll, obviously I think Murray will probably get the second tall back. Brash, would you agree with that?
Yeah, look, I've actually tipped Ryan Murray as my medalist this afternoon, because I firmly believe he's the X factor. Last year in that loss against Ringwood, he kicked 7 goals in a losing effort, and he can play tall, he can play small, he can run. He positions himself front and square around the full forward. He's definitely one that that Templestowe have to put time into.
Here comes the Upper Ferntree Gully team. Templestowe running out at the same time. The banner for Upper Ferntree Gully reads Upper Gully 2016. Team Me. I don't know what that means exactly.
Boys, it says Club Team Me, and
Yeah,
I know what that means is I normally have it going in a vertical order, so club first, then your team,
And
then
then
me.
me, yep.
So that's kind of like their club motto down at Upper Gully.
It's normally Club Team I up here, but Team Me, I like the idea of it. Just on that, I like how the forwards Upper Ferntree Gully are mobile. They're moving forwards. They're hard to match up on, because if they're in the game or they're not in the game, you always think they're near it.
Yeah, you're right, and you're right, Gavin. That's the thing. In sometimes in today's football, you've got to have mobile forwards. The days of having stagnant forwards, so the forwards have got to actually work a lot harder now than they ever had, because the coaches are demanding more forward pressure. But getting back to one of the key things that I've noticed, and I said this morning, was the difference in these final series has been the tackling pressure of all the games. It's gone up a notch, and I think once again it's going to play a big part in what happens here this afternoon.
Can I just bring up a point that I learnt during the week, how Templestowe have hired out Collingwood Football Club facilities, computers, training facilities, the Goshers paddock running area.
But that counts for nothing.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting.
It's interesting. No, I'm not saying that it's good to have access to the best grounds and the best of technology, but in about 5 minutes' time, it's going to count for absolutely Jack Scheisenhausen.
I agree totally.
Because we're talking.
I think Prestige Como and a few players might not want to know what their opponents are going to do if they've got a left or a right side or this and that. It helps. And when we're talking Division 3...
what can throw a spanner into that work straight away is you're talking about your opponent, whether he's left or right sided. All they got to do is maybe mix up their opponent's not going to be that opponent, and all that's gone out the window.
Yeah.
You've got to get back to just basic football. That's what wins finals. Basic football. Do all the basic things, and generally you win the game.
Because if you do all the basic things right, Gav, as you well know, then everything else flows from there.
I love having an argument with you guys, because
so do I.
It's like winding up a clock, but I do enjoy it. I do enjoy it indeed. We're probably getting close to getting the key man of the broadcast team. Oh, excuse me, boy. The key man of the team. He might have to save me because I'm choking on a A
lolly.
Yeah, lolly. But soon we'll have BWS join us, but he's too good to come pre-match,
Yeah,
so
well,
it's time for us.
Well, he was on the huddle with us. We only get 10 minutes for lunch. He's gone out for a buffet somewhere.
Yes, well, when you're paid, and what I get paid in sandwiches. What do you? I don't know what you get.
Oh, I don't get paid at all. I just get abused.
But you love it.
I think one of the keys for the game today that we maybe have referenced slightly but not really talked about is how Templestowe kicked the ball inside 50, because when Upper Gully won at Templestowe, they had a real team defence. If the ball was in the air, they were absolutely dominant. I think they took something like 28 intercept marks that day. So if Templestowe just bombed the ball in, they're not going to win today. So how are they going to generate enough scoring opportunities against a side who averages less than 50 points?
Exactly.
I think that does start from the midfield though, boys, and delivery to your key forwards. I've seen some of the match day footages from Division 3 this season, and the delivery has been quite good, which allows your key forwards to step up. And if your forwards aren't quite clunking those big marks, you need your players front and centre doing the real basics of footy, crumb and kicking goals, Brash.
Yep. If Templestowe are to win the game, and the way the game, to me, is going to pan out, I would think that Templestowe must start well. They must get out to maybe a 2 or 3 or 4 goal lead and try and maintain the pressure, because there's going to come a time where I'm still of the belief that Upper Ferntree Gully may be able to run over them right in the last quarter, because I just think the legs are going to come into play. But if Templestowe have got enough buffer, right, they might be able to will themselves.
Hasn't it been the opposite this year, that Templestowe have been the chaser on the scoreboard against Upper Gully so far? So it's an interesting point you make. But
they've got to start well.
We spoke, you spoke about the midfield of Templestowe, and there's no doubt they are an A-class midfield. There's no doubt about that in their delivery to the forward line. But I just think that do not underestimate the midfield of Upper Ferntree Gully. I've seen them. There's nothing flashy about them, but they run through the middle of the ground, they cover distance, and they get the job done.
And the key thing there is Ray, they do their role.
Yep.
That's very big in finals footy. If you've got 22 players on the ground that know their role and do it well, you pretty much can guarantee you're going to get a win.
It's time for a break. We've had a lot to say, but it's been really enjoyable, because we are very excited and pumped up for what's going to be when both sides are out on East Burwood Reserve preparing themselves for the grand final. But let's get one more break in. So you're tuned to 98.1 Radio Eastern.
Yeah, man. I hope we win this weekend. Oh, I hope we win too, because I want to kick some weekend Pancake Parlour after the game. Because if your AFL team wins, you can go in and get a free sweet pancake with any savoury menu item purchase. Oh, free pancake. First your team wins and then your belly wins. It's win-win, man. Claim your free sweet pancake with any savoury item purchase just by showing your winning team's colours or your team membership at any Pancake Parlour this weekend. Oh, and don't forget, check out Facebook for this week's offer. Lovely.
Program sponsor.
A new time and a new team, driving you home in 2016. Join a brand new lineup for The Huddle as the gang take a light-hearted look at the Eastern Football League every Friday night. More importantly, the team will reveal the ins and outs for this week's round of matches. The Huddle, 4:30 to 6:30 every Friday evening as you love it local. EFL.org.au is the place to be online for all the latest on the Eastern Football League. Keep up to date by checking out the latest news and feature articles. Have your say in the EFL poll. Check out all the latest EFL videos, and best of all, you can listen back to any EFL radio program at any time. Head to EFL.org.au. The Eastern Football League. Local footy at its best.
Chiropedic Mattress Factory Direct. It's the Aussie family company that's been manufacturing mattresses in Melbourne since 1991. They offer a huge range, and selected mattresses come with everyday deals like free delivery, old mattress removal, 30-day comfort guarantee, and up to 20 years warranty. Buy direct from the factory and never pay retail prices again. Chiropedic Mattress Factory Direct. Locations all around Melbourne and country Victoria. Or shop online 24/7 for mattresses, bases, beds, pillows, and custom-sized mattresses at chiropedic.net.au. Program sponsor.
Real people, real stories.
Whether I'm driving the morning coach to service or whether I'm actually doing the transfer from the family home is very rewarding.
It's heavy lifting, it's emotional, it's uplifting, it's rewarding, and it's a vocation. It's not a job, and I love it.
Watch the A Day in the Life video series now at tobinbrothersfunerals.com.au for an insight into the specialised work they do. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating 80 years of service.
Program sponsor.
Dave and his mates are flying to the Gold Coast to watch their team play the Suns. Do they B, pay too much for a taxi?
To be out this afternoon if you're in Melbourne town, the big Division 3 grand final between Templestowe and Upper Ferntree Gully down on the field at the moment. We've got both clubs aligned and of course all officials and umpires as well. A big game about to undertake out here. It's been a big morning out here at Eastfield Reserve, and congratulations to the sides who have come through as premiers in the 19th. And decide who are our final tips this afternoon. And I'm going to start with the man at the end, the great man, Grant Soupy Campbell from Choose Tap Match Stats.
Well, I'm going to go for Upper Gully.
Medalist will be Bryce Hards of Upper Ferntree Gully.
Wayne Brasher.
Yeah, I'm going to go Upper Gully by 2 goals. I just feel that their run in the last quarter is going to be the telling factor, and my blue ribbon medalist will be Ryan Murray.
And of course Gavin Casey, my co-commentator this afternoon.
Oh, well, you've had 2 one-point games when the heat's been on. I reckon it's going to be a 2-point game, a bit of a blowout. Templestowe to win.
Well, in the record on the second page, it's got me down as tipping Upper Gully, but further in, it's got me tipping Templestowe. So I'm not having a bet each way. I'm going with Templestowe by 6 points today, with Lee Murphy to take out the blue ribbon medal this afternoon, Ray.
You know, BWS, sitting on the fence, there's always a chance you'll get splintered in your bum, mate.
Let's cross down boundary side for the first time this afternoon. 2 guys who are really excited about this clash, Josh Dorr and Gus McLeod. A bit of a ground report from you, Josh.
Better. There's a slight breeze just floating around, not really favouring anyone. I think the one concern might be the onset of rain. It looks all right for now. Definitely feels like there could be some later on, but ground conditions are beautiful. Eastfield Reserve is in perfect nick. Should be a cracking game.
And your tip this afternoon?
I'm going to tip Templestowe to come back. I think they've got a bit more to play for. And Gussie, what's your tip going to be today, mate?
Yeah, I'm on the Upper Gully bandwagon personally. On the record, I said 40 points, but I might drop that down to about 20 just on the conditions. So have a good call, boys, and it's going to be a cracking game of footy.
Well, it'll be Upper Ferntree Gully kicking towards the Burwood Highway end of the ground in this first term, and we're all set for a huge clash out here. Upper Ferntree Gully, of course, undefeated through season 2016. It's unheard of, and it'll be umpire Warren Hilliard to start the play out here, and Gavin Casey, EFL Sunday's major host for most of the year, is going to kickstart us here. The Division 3 grand final is Upper Gully versus Tempe.
Pump up the volume. It's Templestowe going right of the screen. Harris wins the tap for Templestowe, and he follows up with the next hardball get, but they're storming in, and it's a big pack of players, and the heat is definitely on early, and the ball might have bobbled out just before the whistle, but we'll get another ball up just forward of the centre circle as Templestowe kick to the residential end right of your screen. Upper Ferntree Gully go to the Burwood Highway end. Punch forward goes to centre forward. We're yet to have an inside 50. It's a hot contest for the ball. Players go Templestowe going closer to goals. They just can't grab it. Fiorenza was in there. Haddock tried to push it out. Now at the back of the pack, Wilson feeds out a hand pass and they'll spear it in. Templestowe, 2 bites, 2 grabs at a drop ball by Murphy. Now he's got a couple to beat at half forward and he won't beat them.
Let's cross down boundary side thanks to chiropractic betting.
Boys starting on the bench for Templestowe is Brown, Quinn, Anthony Mariani and Fedonis, and for Upper Gully it's Ward, Loglan, Carroll and Picaro.
So about 55 metres out. Dockers goal line, big fly there from Paddy, went after it again. A lot of players form themselves around this. In there is Timmy Risley and Stacks on the mill. Sees another ball up. Big crowd out here at East Burwood. 2 great faithfuls going up Fiorenza. Had a bit of a fresh air shot there as the ball hits the deck, and we'll do it all again as Grice picks himself up, as does Matty Mariani. So Fiorenza with back, Mariani on the bottom of there, and a few stoppages early, Wayne Brasher.
Yeah, there's an interesting matchup out there. 2 guys that haven't played a lot of football this year, Alex Wadsworth and Daniel Erasmus for Upper Ferntree Gully.
Well, Jackson might have caught one on the shoulder there as he swung it around the body, and then we heard the whistle, so it'll come back to Dan Jackson. What a great season he has had, and very impressive final series also. You can see Talevski leading into the forward pocket now. What a beautiful kick that was. Fantastic play there by Templestowe, and the big kid will have the goal for Tempe.
The Upper Ferntree Gully defence, very important for Cadet Talevski to get on the scoreboard early, give him a lot of confidence, Ray.
Yeah, it certainly will.
54 goals for the season. He comes in now. It's a nice looking kick, but it drifted across to the left-hand side and through for a minor score. Goes the way of the Templestowe Football Club. They lead this Division 3 grand final by 1 point.
Just on that lead by Talevski there, Upper Gully, they're going to have to work as a team down there. There's someone to get in front of him.
They kick out near side, going to half-back. They go as long as they can up at Ferntree Gully, but to a big pack of players. Ball drifts out with the pack, out of bounds, 55 metres around from Templestowe's goal. Main grandstand side here at East Burwood Reserve, where it's building up quite nicely for a grand final attendance. 2 clubs hungry for success. They want out of Division 3, they want a Premiership, and it's what a game we've got set up. 2 evenly matched sides. And I wouldn't be surprised who won, because I have no idea. Fiorenza, he's doing the running jump at his ruck work. Just gives away a couple of inches, but he's trying to move the ball forward. But Mariani picks up the ball and gives it back, and it's Matthew. We're always going to have to put a first name on the end of Mariani when we call it today, because the brothers are quite prolific for Templestowe. The ball's close to the boundary line, no clear possession one from either side, and the umpires pull it up again because he's not going to get too involved early on. He wants the players to settle into their workload. But it's in tight. Haddock gets front position. Fiorenza comes around him, couldn't win the tap, goes over the line and out of bounds. So we've travelled about 6 minutes. It's only 1 score on the board for Templestowe.
Grand finals are always special, but there's just something about this one already that it's going to be a real battle.
Yeah. Haddock wins front position, taps it close to the boundary line. It might go out again. And a trip, just as he put it on the ball, is Ma, who grabbed it, the young under-19, who never played under-19s this year, but he was such a prolific player in the seniors. He kicks it long down the line to half forward. It's a disputed ball close to the boundary line. They're sharing it around Upper Ferntree Gully. They'll move it out. Kick goes hurried closer to the 50, and the defence through Di Stefano will knock it over, and Templestowe, there's a push, and it's going to go Upper Ferntree Gully. Get some special comments on that, because
it's a Tempe free.
Templestowe free kick.
So it goes to Saxon. He's turned it over, taking it inboard. He's turned it over straight to Whiteman, who was unbelievably one of the smallest players on the field, standing in the way.
That's the thing that tears the hairs out of the coach, isn't it?
Yeah.
Early in the grand final, you got the ball in the pocket, you go down the line, you don't go switch it and get caught out.
Well, I think everyone was the late call. The setup was there, but the kick-in board was chopped off by Whiteman. This for the first goal to the Burwood Highway end, and Upper Ferntree Gully have got it. Whiteman gets on the board. one straight 6, leading Templestowe on 1 minor score.
Yeah, the cardinal sin there done by Simon Di Stefano. As Ray said, you do not go inboard, you must play down the line, especially in the defensive mode.
The thing is, Brash, if you go inboard at this early in the game, there's nerves, there's everything that can happen, and you turn the ball over. So you play it safe, you go down the line.
7 minutes gone in the opening term, and it is a 5-point lead to the Kings. Umpire Lee to Vellon to restart play here. Harris knocked it straight down. Risley was there. He's been in amongst it. Coming in from the side, Dan Jackson. And a little bit of argy-bargy, but that's okay. Oh, no, the umpire said, Timmy Risley, you can have this free kick. So Risley on the right boot, sends it up towards the half-forward area where Mard used his body well but couldn't quite pull the mark in. In came Whiteman, kicked the first goal of the game, quickly wrapped up, and we'll have a bounce 60 metres out from the Upper Ferntree Gully goal line.
Did all the hard work there, Mard, didn't take the mark.
So nicely done there by Haddock. He got the knockdown, but Harris was there to robe the football. Risley's got him wrapped up, and we'll have another bounce right in front of the grandstand out here at Eastfield Reserve, where there's a massive crowd on Sonboard. Haddock knocked it down, nicely done by Carroll. Kicked was half smothered. Anthony Mariani looping handball across now, and to Anthony Mariani, got it away to Murphy. Tried to go back to Mariani, and he will just quickly get wrapped up.
Risley was just like a jockey mounting in the mounting yard.
And he's going full steam ahead, Tim Risley. Don't you worry about that. So umpire throws it up. Harris knocked it down. Murphy at the fall of ball, got it away, and now they go away here through Prestigiacomo, who couldn't get boot to ball. He's been pinged. So the free kick will go to the Kings. Andrew Godfrey.
You can see early, Ray, the tackling pressure's starting to become already important.
Oh, yeah, look, there's no doubt Templestowe are going to hit them with everything.
So it's Maher, in fact, up towards the half-forward line. Harris got his arms chopped. Umpire said it was okay. Getting a little knock on there was Ward. In towards the middle of the ground, getting a crunched in a tackle. Bacaro, that was brilliant chase by Anthony Soriano. We know he's a handy goal sneak, but he's laid a strong tackle across the half-back line, and he'll switch the ball out wide here, and mark has been taken by Fedonis. Short passes on Matt Mariani just outside the centre square.
As the players settle into their task, the umpire is getting keen now. It's a fierce contest. There might have been a drag off, and Upper Ferntree Gully will get the free kick. It's in the hands of Wakefield, who just got his arm slung by Bain, who wasn't in good position. So it's a bit of a let-off there for Upper Ferntree Gully. And it's sort of a dead ball now, in that everyone's set up at half forward for Upper Gully to defend this. The short pass, what a pearler to Lachlan, but he just spilled it before getting on the wing, and he couldn't do much but see it over the line. So who settled in, boys, first for this game? Upper Ferntree Gully got the first goal, but how's it feeling out first 10 minutes?
Well, Tempe had all the play in the first 5 or 6 minutes, but they didn't hit the scoreboard.
I think both sides are still feeling each other out. There's still, there was a bit of a hospital handball there just a minute ago. So no, I'm thinking that's all ready to go.
Mariani will burst out of the pack. His hand passes out into the open. It didn't favour his teammates. So Upper Ferntree Gully will turn it over. Go to centre forward. The Flyers go at it. No mark taken. And Prestigiacomo at ground level shares it with Di Stefano. His kick smothered. But they've got time to get back on the ball, Di Stefano. And again, his kick was rushed. And it goes out of bounds on the outer side. So it's a hot footy early.
Prestigiacomo is getting a lot of it. A bigger-bodied midfielder. Yeah. He's really throwing his weight around.
Yeah, you can totally expect that today, Ray. There's no doubt about that. Over the back there, Ward, umpire, has blown his whistle. Be a free kick to Upper Ferntree Gully. So, far side of East Burwood. Right near the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, a 5-point lead to the Kings. Coming out, Whiteman takes the mark. A fair way out from goal still, just chips it over the top. That's okay. Mark's been taken by Murray. Bacaro, I should say. So backwards to go forward. So it's a lot of players chasing the pill around the park in these early stages, and the short passes on Whiteman. He's certainly getting amongst it.
They've got to go down the line now. They can't just keep kicking it backwards and forwards.
So Whiteman on the right boot kick was smothered, and over the boundary line it goes for a boundary throw-in.
It's a good zone they've got, Templestowe, haven't they? That's very hard to get through.
So about 70 metres out from goal. High to bring the ball back in. Rucks go at it. Harris had the front spot. Mariani came barging his way through of the Anthony variety, but he couldn't get boot to ball, so it'll be a free kick to the Kings.
Good tackle there by Bryce Hartz.
And inside forward 50 goes looking for the Calvert direction. He got one hand on it. Jackson was there at the fall of the ball. He trapped it, but was quickly wrapped up, and we will have a bounce 45 metres out from the Upper Ferntree goal line. They lead this game by 5 points. Harris got the knockdown. Prestigie Como was there. He got the handball away, then trapped it again. Quickly met in a strong tackle there by Brad Carroll, and we'll have another bounce. So Warren Hillier, fantastic umpire for a long time in the Eastern Football League, throws the ball up now, comes out, nice little knock on by Wilson, tapped it to the advantage there of Anthony Soriano. Can the ball pick up for him? Picaro did extremely well to trap it. Pancake Parlour player of the day type of stuff there, switches the ball across, they go goal through Ward. Can he get the distance? He can! Fantastic little play there by Upper Ferntree Gully. They managed to get the intercept and then switch it across, and then Ward with the finishing touch, the big man. He'll enjoy that one, and the two-finger salute from the goal umpire gives an 11-point lead to Upper Ferntree Gully. Almost 15 minutes gone in this first term of the Division 3 Grand Final.
Brash, just on 2 occasions in the last passage of the play that Templestowe have had the run of the ball, that it looked like they're going to break from the centre, but Upper Gully have been able to stop that and reverse it back.
Whistle. We'll just look at why it's an encroachment free kick, and Upper Gully will get that.
No, it might be against the Upper Gully bench.
Oh, it's against Templestowe, so it's to Templestowe, should I say?
The runner was in the square.
So Quinn loads up from the centre, and inside 50, that's penetrated all the way beyond Talevsky. First running onto it was Murphy, but close to the boundary line, he can't keep it in and have a shot, so it's just around from the point post. Right side as they travel to the residential area end, and they'd like to answer pretty quick. Templestowe, they've settled into the task, they just haven't had much attempts at goal yet, and it's flinging around in a pack. Williams is working hard for Templestowe. He's a free kick, a go to Templestowe. It might have been over the shoulder just as Templestowe through Wilson was Williams was putting his body on the line. The tackle flew in over his shoulder.
You know, look, that unbeknownst to the runner, it's actually conceded that goal, BWS, by being in the square, because you just never know what was going to happen at that centre bounce.
So Williams from 20 metres out, only a small angle, should dob it, but he put it right at the post. Actually, he's hit the post, so they can't get the goal on the board. Templestowe, it's 2 misses to trail by 10 points on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Shouldn't have missed that one.
That's when you guide and you don't kick through to the middle.
That's a huge miss as the ball comes out, but a strong mark's been taken by Al Quinn. He's hot to trot, goes in towards the forward pocket, but cutting across nicely there was Lachlan, and over the boundary line it goes. Let's cross down to Gus McLeod, thanks to Chiropractic Betting.
Boys, you just spoke about how much of a big miss that was. There is a slight breeze in the residential end, so keep an eye on that.
So in the forward pocket, Haddock, Fiorenza go up at it. Murphy at the fall of ball, got dispossessed off it. Charging through there was Wilson for Upper Gully, couldn't quite trap it either. Barging his way through for Donors. Little grubber kick to the top of the goal square. The kid's on hands and knees, and he'll hand it back to the umpire as we have a bounce 15 metres out from the Templestowe goal line, trailing by 10 points. We've gone 15 minutes now. It's just ticked over in this first term. Haddock got one little fingernail on it that time. He had some support in there from Wilson.
That back 6 of Upper Gully, they're under pressure, but they're standing up there.
A lot of players inside this forward arc for the Dockers at the moment. Umpire starts it again. Talevsky that time got the high fly over Haddock. Ball hits the deck. Fiorenza lays a tackle. Still only about 15-20 metres out from the Templestowe goal line. They've be disappointed they didn't snag that last one, the shot on goal, but they've got another chance here. Can Williams do it? He missed the last one, little handball forward. It's now creeped to about 7 metres out from goal. Stacks on the mill once again. And we will have a ball up. A big Upper Ferntree Gully contingent behind the goals. The Brethren comes in. Talevsky gave a shove in the back. So can't do that in a ruck contest. Ben Haddock and the last line of defence will relieve the pressure for Upper Ferntree Gully.
Very undisciplined down there because they had the ball where they wanted it and maybe could have scored from a stoppage, but to give a free kick away.
Big bearded ruckman kicks it as long as he can outside 50. The marking contest was right next to the boundary and went off hands out of bounds. So it's 55 metres around from Templestowe's goal. Now halfway through this first quarter, Templestowe yet to get a major. Haddock works against Quinn, comes over the back, does Quinn, and wins the tap down at ground level. It's still a fight for the ball, and eventually the umpire will have to get involved.
I just think Templestowe at the moment are just they're not just thinking the process through at the moment, they're just too bull of their gate. They want to take the world on, but it's not working out the way they want it at the moment.
Quinn does some good body work, but he taps it straight down to the vacuumed area where they all jump on it. And eventually it's going to be another ball up, 55 metres out. You can just sense the umpires looking around, seeing if there's any off the ball. It's been quite physical without being too dramatic. Now the hand pass flew forward for Upper Ferntree Gully, but it's going to suit Templestowe through Murphy. But his kick is smothered. You've got no time in this game so far. Murphy thought he had a metre or two, but he couldn't kick it over the lunging defender. And it's a ball from boundary throw in around 60 metres from goal.
Brash, all these stoppages are playing into Upper Gully's hands.
Pye throws it in. Haddock did well from the back, got the handball away to Risley, had a fresh air shot, then got the handball back to Haddock, who linked up well with Hards. Backwards to go forwards. Godfrey on the left boot, up towards the wing position. Whiteman out in front, takes the mark, It's actually Ryan Murray on the right boot now. Goes inside forward, 50 towards Tating. No, it wasn't. In fact, it was Erasmus. I backed the crowd there as they called him out to take the mark, as he will go back and have his first shot on goal. And after the ball's been hanging around in that Templestowe forward line, will Upper Gully make them pay?
Obviously, Upper Ferntree Gully have a lot of faith in Daniel Erasmus because this is only his second game of the season. So obviously the coach is taking a huge punt. Hopefully he can repay the faith.
Well, it can all start here, can't it? From 40 metres out, kicks it straight off the side of the boot. So it's going to sit up in the forward pocket and eventually fist it over the boundary line and out of bounds. Grant Campbell, the stats that matter thanks to Choose Tap.
The ball's been so congested, inside 50 count, just 4 apiece, and both sides have laid more tackles than had kicks, with Upper Gully having 18 tackles already and Templestowe 15.
Well, boot to ball from Murray to the top of the goal square. Here's Hickleton. He traps it, doubles back, gives it don't argue, but stepped over the boundary line, so we'll have a boundary throw in at 20 metres out from the Upper Ferntree Gully goal line. Pye to throw the ball back in. Calvert goes up in the ruck. He knocked it to his team's advantage. Which way will this one bounce? Well done there by Jackson for the Dockers. He has a bit of space, traps the football, then just tries to get every bit of purchase he can on it. Mongrel punt out towards the wing position. Upper Gully have the numbers, but it was really well done there by the teammate there in Nagel for Upper Ferntree, for Templestowe, I should say, and Melitza sees it over the boundary line and out of bounds. Geordie Buckingham coming in and just saying that was a little bit too harsh.
Was it don't argue against the Upper Gully guy?
So Melitza's short passes on. So they'll take that Tempe on the right boot up towards the half forward line. Got to be cleaner in those skills. Whiteman for the Kings chops in and takes a good mark. So he's taken a couple of good marks, Whiteman, and he's kicked the first goal of the afternoon, sends it up towards the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Nicely done there from Anthony Mariani, this way, that way, somehow got boot to ball, just thumped it in the air, where Whiteman takes the number one contender so far for the A1 Airport mark of the day. Eyes only for the football. Yep. Copped a knee to the head for his troubles and a 25-metre penalty to boot.
Gee, that's courage from the little man there. He could have got cleaned up really bad.
And it wastes no time either as he thumps the ball up towards the half-forward line. Outstretching there was Murray, who took it just inside the paint. He'll go in towards the forward pocket to the Hearts direction. What a big fly over the back. It was nicely done by Brown. Got it away to Bain, back to Brown, back to Bain. Now they can switch the play. Templestowe maybe slow things down. It's a foot race just inside the line. Eventually it goes over. No little touch on the shoulder for Wilson. So he'll be happy about that. It was a strong attack on the football, got the handball away, and he has the free kick across the half-back line.
Yeah, a bit of a relief there for Templestowe as Hards nearly grabbed it down just only a moment ago. Kick inside. This time they hit the target to Wadsworth, so Templestowe looking a little bit cleaner. Hand pass to the running Fedonis. He gets it wider out to the wing. So this is a good setup from Templestowe. One side to the other. Now to centre forward to Fiorenza on the lead. Now another pass marked, and that's a great effort.
This is good footy end to end.
Yep, they've gone from back pocket to full forward in 4 kicks, and it was brilliant play. Fiorenza speared up the pass and found his teammate on the lead.
Let's cross down boundary side to Josh Dorr, thanks to chiropractic betting.
Yeah, boys, bit of injury concern down here for Templestowe. It looks like it's David Di Stefano for the Dockers. He's dislocated his left shoulder. Has already heavy straps coming into this game. He's just got it in his jumper as he makes his way, so I'll update you on that.
Harris from 50 metres out puts it to the teeth of goal. It's drifting. It might have just snuck in. Let's wait on the goal umpire. He's going to signal Templestowe's first goal. They get on the board 1-2-8, trailing only by 4 points late in this first term. Upper Ferntree Gully a 2 straight 12 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
That was great play from that wing over there underneath the scoreboard. Look, it was terrific play down because Brad, it was probably one of the first times they've gone down the corridor. They've been forced wide when they've gone forward, but great play there, and it's a goal that they really needed.
It was the best piece of play for the whole game so far.
Grant Campbell, some stats that matter, thanks to Choose Tap Match Stats at the 22-minute mark of the first term.
Contested possessions 20-17 in favour of Upper Gully. Clearances 10-9 in favour of Templestowe.
Well, ball went up in the ruck, went after it again. Carroll was in there. Also Mariani of the Matt variety has always tried to barge his way through, but he's been pinged for holding the footy.
That's the third time that one of the two Marianis have tried to barge their way through and been penalised.
So Lachlan inside, forward 50 he goes. Grice had the front spot there. He should have almost been paid the mark. He was a little bit stiff. Picaro brought to ground nicely in a strong tackle by Athanasio. Over the back they go. On the left boot it was Fedonis out towards the half back line. Bouncing footballs. Boundary line's going to beat all players, and over she goes right underneath the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 4-point lead to Upper Ferntree Gully.
Ben, it wouldn't have mattered if he grabbed it because the centre umpire was touched off the boot.
Oh, okay.
20/20 vision from Ray Baird. He's all over it as it comes down. Whiteman was there. Daniel Jackson in there. Got the handball back. Getting almost a push in the back was Prestigia Como. Umpire said it was A-OK.
That's going to be a real blow losing to Stefano because he provides a lot of run off the back line, BWS, and it's going to rob them of a rotation throughout the day. That is something that they could do well without.
Lee Tevelin bounces the football, came out. Quick kick from Templestowe in towards the middle of the ground. Here's Fiorenza on the right boot. Up towards inside forward 50 it goes. There was a thumping kick as well. Talevsky was there, but so too was Callagher. Oh, stolen just somehow there by Malitzas. Can he cause a miracle? Kicks it across the face of goal. It might just stay in here for Templestowe. Oh, what a magnificent effort there by Tascott. He did fantastically, but it comes out now, snap around. Soriano had to use his opposite. Wilson was there though for the Kings to mop up in the last line of defence and snap the ball out of that defensive zone. Lachlan, he got it around on the body. That was a good kick. It's going to sit up well for Grice. He's a class act, and he sold the candy nicely. Then straightened himself up. He's going to kick it up towards centre half forward. Calvert should have probably taken the mark, but it's sat up okay for Whiteman. Got the linking handball. The Kings still go driving forward. The big man had it. Can he pull down a mark? No. The Dockers, they had numbers at the fall of the ball. Magnificent play. They drive it out towards the wing position. It's almost kick to kick out here at East Burwood. Whiteman, isn't he having some sort of a first term? Got the handball back. Inside forward 50 they go again, and Haddock will be the recipient for a downfield free kick though.
Presti.
Gone the other way.
Well, it's been a hot football. Anthony Mariani will have a true centre wing position out in front of the massive crowd we've got out here. Short passes on. The mark's been taken by Wilson.
Wrong ball guy I picked then out of the two guys, but that's all right.
Gee, hasn't the intensity gone up the last 5 minutes?
So Wilson loads it up from the wing, puts it inside 50. It's a fierce contest for the ball. Who's going to win it at ground level? One harm tackle on Silver. How's he going to get rid of it? He can't legally do that, so it's holding the ball at half forward.
Let's go cross down boundary side, thanks to chiropractic betting. Josh Daw.
Yeah, just quickly, boys. Di Stefano makes his way into the room, still holding that left shoulder. I think it still might be out, so I reckon his day's done.
Williams goes the hot spot. It wasn't really that hot for Templestowe. It's been marked by Silver, who gave away the free kick, so he redeems himself with a mark deep in his own defence, and he's going to kick it back to where Williams was, and there's the siren for quarter time. What a great start, physical encounter. It's out Upper Ferntree Gully leading this one, 2 straight 12. Templestowe 1-2-8 in the Division 3 Grand Final.
Whiteman and Ward have 1 goal apiece for the Upper Ferntree Gully Football Club, while Simon Harris the only goal scorer for Templestowe. It's a hard-fought contest early in this piece. We are loving every minute of this Division 3 Grand Final today on EFL Game Day, brought to you by the Pancake Parlour. 2 straight goals for Upper Ferntree Gully and 1-2-8 for Templestowe. It's 4 points the margin. We'll be back with the second term right after this.
Dave and his mates are flying to the Gold Coast to watch their team play the Suns. Do they B, pay too much for a taxi, C, hope for an airport rail link this century, or D, get a lift from a mate and hope for the best when they fly home?
What about A, for A1 Airport Parking? At A1 Airport Parking, get 2 days for $25, 3 days for $34, or get 7 days parking for just $69. And at just 5 minutes from the airport, they'll get you there in time for your flight and pick you up when you get home. Show your footy or sporting club membership anytime you park and get 10% off. a1airportparking.com.au.
Program sponsor.
Bigger and better in season 2016, Netball EFL is back. The fastest growing competition in the eastern suburbs continues to expand. Don't miss the fast-paced action every Friday night across multiple venues. For more information or to get involved, head to efl.org.au. EFL.org.au is the place to be online for all the latest on the Eastern Football League. Keep up to date by checking out the latest news and feature articles. Have your say in the EFL poll. Check out all the latest EFL videos, and best of all, you can listen back to any EFL radio program at any time. Head to efl.org.au. The Eastern Football League. Local footy at its best.
जिंदगी से लुत्फ अंदोज होते हुए
Świętować życie.
Го прославуваме животот.
Celebrating lives. Tobin Brothers Funerals speaks your language. At Tobin Brothers Funerals, they attend to every religion and culture and can speak 28 languages.
Celebrate la vie.
庆祝生命。
Yortazunta stizuj.
Wake up around lunchtime. Oh, yeah. Second, go into Pancake Parlour and get...
Mattress Factory Direct for mattresses, bases, beds, electric bundle beds, quality pillows, as well as custom-sized mattresses made to measure. Factory Direct locations around Melbourne and country Victoria. To keep up to date on the latest sales, fun facts and news, go to Facebook, search and like Chiropractic Mattress Factory Direct, and you'll join over 17,000 Facebook fans. Chiropractic Mattress Factory Direct. Buy direct from the factory and never pay retail prices again. Or shop online at chiropractic.net.au.
Program EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
98.1 Radio Eastern, we have EFL Game Day. It's Division 3 Grand Final Day. Upper Ferntree Gully are leading the way. The undefeated, previously undefeated this year, Upper Ferntree Gully, 2 straight 12, leading Templestowe, who are 1-2-8. And let's look back at the first term. That's Grant Soupy Campbell. What have we got?
Well, most of the numbers are quite low because it was such a physical game. The clearances 12-10 in favour of Templestowe. The contested possessions 25 apiece. The uncontested possessions just 23-18 in favour of Templestowe. That's about the lowest I can remember for a quarter. Inside 50s just 7 apiece. It was a bit of a midfield game with the tackle count very high, 22-18 in favour of Upper Gully. And a lot of free kicks out there today, 9-8 in favour of Templestowe. But fair enough, because there's been so many stoppages, so many players hard at it that I wouldn't criticise the umpires for that. But hopefully, as much as we love the contest and want the hardness to continue, hopefully a bit more open for the last 3 quarters.
So that is the Choose Tap stats. And that last stat on umpiring, I reckon it's been good, the umpiring, but Templestowe were a bit keyed up, I think. They've given the off-the-ball free kicks more tagging free kicks. Does that demonstrate a point to you, Wayne Brasher, or is there other...
It does, Gavin. I just feel that Templestowe are not being patient enough when they, bar for that one piece of play where they went coast to coast, the rest of the time they've been going into their forward line, but they're not showing patience. And I'm meaning by patience is they're not looking and searching for their forwards in the best position. They're trying to take the man on and to try and create more loose space and loose men, but they're getting caught in the midfield by trying too hard. They're trying to break tackles. They've got to tackle, they've got to handball, they've got to do everything on its merit. Sometimes you just can't afford to be bull at the gate, even in a game like this. You need composure, to set your side in motion so you become a little predictable, but at least they know the players of what you're going to get.
Well, there's thousands here today. These two clubs have looked forward to this moment to win a premiership, and Templestowe, they've got a large supporter base, but Rick Irwin, he must have had a lot to say because Upper Ferntree Gully have been standing in position for over a minute and a half at least, and Templestowe are only breaking up now, so we're going to be waiting a minute or so for the supporters to get off the ground. So, Ray, you were talking about what would a coach say. We'll get a quick cross down boundary side before we get back to you. So our chiropractic betting boundary riders will cross down to you. It's Gus McLeod.
Boys, at Anthony Milletta with me. What was the message at quarter time?
Just to believe in our game plan, play our game plan a bit better. We're holding onto the footy for too long, becoming too predictable. Really just work the angles and get the footy moving a bit quicker.
You struggled in front of goal a bit in that first quarter. Is that something Rick touched on?
We spoke about that at the start of the game. When we get limited opportunities some games, and we've got to nail them when we do get opportunities. Miss a couple easy ones, and it could cost you a game.
Thanks for that. All the best.
Well done to Gus McLeod getting the quarter time coaches message through the interview, and just before we get to Josh Dorr.
Well, I think let's cross down to Josh because, of course, he was over with Chad Rogers and Andy Heyman at the Upper Ferntree Gully huddle at quarter time. What was the message there, Josh?
Yeah, boys, Chad Rogers was extremely happy with the pressure that was being applied by his boys. They loved their clearance work, was really happy with that. A lot of praise for Adrian Tapscott, thought he was great in the back line. Now that they're kicking against the wind, he just wants them to lower their eyes but continue to move the ball quick. So look for quick kick-outs out of defence and really big streaming runs if they manage to get outside the contest. They're pretty happy with their start and they're going to keep pushing on.
Great work from our chiropractic betting boundary riders at quarter time. All the fans have left the arena. There is a big crowd out here today. It's a 4-point lead to Upper Ferntree Gully, undefeated in season 2016. And here is the second quarter. Gav Casey to take us away.
Haddock doing the rucking but he's been beaten by Harris. He taps it down to Mariani, who just sprints forward and kicks it as long as he can. Telescu was second in line, but he was eventually the man who had to come in as the tackler, and it's been held up 30 metres from goal as Upper Ferntree Gully have to defend the first inside 50. Haddock just bursts. He pushes Telescu out of the way and leaves him in his dust, but it's now the ball's in dispute about 40 metres from Templestowe's goals. And Telescu's just not getting in the game as much as we'd hope. He's such a big body, so it's to see Haddock just bulldoze his way through and no one contests against Haddock, so he just punches it outside the defensive 50. A head's been ripped off, and Hards will get up, put his head back on and take a kick.
Well, it'll be Dean Grice who copped on for his troubles there. Mariani, just a little bit feisty, nothing untoward. Just where the ball ended up, you can see Callagher not asking for it, just screaming it forward, but Warren Hilliers paid a 25-metre penalty here, so...
Can't afford to be giving those sort of penalties away.
So Grice What a fantastic kick across there to Gully. On the right boot there, 2 kicks from home. He's looking for the Hickleton direction. Big fly over the back there from Athanasio. And over the boundary line, it goes for a boundary throw-in. 40 metres out now from the Upper Ferntree Gully goal lines. They're kicking straight. They've had 2 scoring shots, Templestowe 3, but the Kings lead by 3 points. Fire throws it in. For the ball, Risley. Right on his hammer was Paul Fiorenza, the veteran, by Geordie Buckingham. Restart play here. Erasmus almost went up unattended. Fiorenza did well, got the handball back, and now the Dockers might be able to get out of trouble here. Harris linked up nicely and getting it across there to Wadsworth, who got it onto Athanasio, whose handball got intercepted. Now Upper Ferntree Gully to go forward. Jackson chopped off the grubber of a kick forward. Once again, it'll be Wadsworth on the right boot out wide, looking for Soriano. Umpire blew his whistle, but it was downfield free kick. Anthony Mariani's all by himself inside the 50. Which way's this one going to float off? Fantastic effort from Darcy Wilson for the Kings. He read the ball well, took it on the second bite, and then thumps it out towards the wing position, where Risley, who's Bryce Hards, he's getting a few touches, which is it to Grice in the middle, this way, that way, little handball away to Godfrey on the left boot, favourable side, kicks it in towards the Hickleton direction. Couldn't quite pull in the mark, but he's got a chance here. Sold a little bit of candy. He'll have a shot on goal from what a difficult angle that was. Chiropractic goal and a contender. Don't you worry about that. Take Hickleton gets his first goal on the board, and Upper Ferntree Gully, they're kicking straight, aren't they? 3 straight goals, 18. They lead by 10 points now over Templestowe, who are 1-2-8.
Yeah, some fancy footwork there by Take Hickleton. I just thought maybe he should have snapped it over his shoulder, Brash, but he proved me wrong. He ran around his opponent. As I said, fancy footwork, and what a great goal that was from the angle.
Just what the doctor ordered for Upper Ferntree Gully, first up in the second quarter.
Back in the middle of East Burwood Reserve. That's a big lead now of 10 points. Couldn't get his foot to the ball. Wilson has been tackled by Harris, and it's going to be a free kick to the big ruckman, applying the tackle after the centre bounce. So Harris just props the kick up 30 out. Here comes Teleski, big pack around him, he's surrounded. Who's at ground level for Templestowe? No one yet, as the clearing kick will be chopped off nicely by Brown. Brown just quick to get it back to Mariani. Anthony Mariani just trying to dodge around 1 or 2. Now finally gets it in to Teleski, who drops the ball at ground level where the numbers support Silver to clear it out.
There we go again.
Outfield.
And Teleski's been posing himself in the wrong way.
He's getting a bit frustrated, Teleski, because he just can't get his hands on the ball. Just going to settle down.
I think that Rick Irwin would be upset with a lot of his players, particularly in the few minutes of this quarter. They've been undisciplined.
Yep.
So Upper Ferntree Gully loading up nicely. They're going to go in for DeMar. Mar from the centre square kicks it to Hickleton. It's going to run into an open goal. Will it bounce on him? He toe pokes it in front of himself. Shepherds its way to a point. He tried to keep it with a toe poke in front of himself, but it got away from him and he just missed in the end. A minor score. Upper Ferntree Gully extend out to 11-point lead. 3-1-19.
Gee, that was quick. That was very quick ball movement, though, wasn't it?
So Bain to bring the ball back in. Donis takes the mark. Still inside the defensive arc for Templestowe. Weighing up their options, trailing by 11 points. This early stage of the second quarter, 5 minutes gone in the second term. Mark's been taken out wide by DeCarla. Still across the half-back line of the Dockers. This time the longer option is a better way to go over the back there. Tapscott couldn't quite pull the mark down and came out towards the Risley direction. Him and Jackson overran it. Little short kick. This has worked out well for Calvert on the right boot. He thumps it every bit of 60 metres. They've got the numbers, and Hickleton just went, thank your mother for the rabbits. They went straight on his chest, about 20 metres out from goal. He'll go back and pop it straight over the goal umpire's head for his second.
Very economical type of football Upper Gully are playing here, Ray. They're playing long and direct.
Comes in now. This is his second goal. And straight through it goes. The Upper Ferntree Gully fans go up, and he puts through number 2. And on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, it is a 17-point lead to the Kings, 4-1-25 to Templestowe, 1-2-8. Let's cross down to Josh Daw, thanks to chiropractic betting.
Yeah, boys, you might have just caught it before. Brad Kelleher just rushing off the ground into the rooms. Not really sure. He was kind of favouring his ankle a little bit, but I think they're going to push back Gully now on Talevski. So we'll let you know when he comes back on the ground and give you an update on his position.
It's a 17-point margin as the umpire's just about ready to go to put it back up in the air. Haddock versus Harris. Haddock won it even though he didn't get as high. Ground level, can Templestowe emerge? Bodywork pushes out to Godfrey on the wing. He's tackled as soon as he gets it. It's in tight, but now they're going to come off half back through Gully. And he kicks it inside the 50, hopeful, but only there was DeCarla. And DeCarla couldn't work it with his teammates, so it's been held up at half forward for Upper Ferntree Gully and goes out of bounds.
Brash, just at that passage of play from the centre to where it is now, I got the impression that Templestowe were really slow. Did you get?
They were slow, right?
So it's 60 metres around from the goal. Harris in good position, but he taps it to his opposing ruckman in effect. The kick off the ground, that was the woo. No, thankfully
Boundary.
no bodies in the way. Let's go boundary side.
Boys, update on Brad Kelleher. Just a broken boot, so nothing to be too concerned about.
Well, he's not kicking it that much. I don't know how he did it.
Good stuff, Gus McLeod, thanks to chiropractic betting.
50 metres out from goal as Upper Ferntree Gully really in the ascendancy early in this second term. At the back of the pack, quick kick goes Templestowe's way to the wing from Bain. Gets to the now Wilson, who's done well. Puts it to half forward, but it's all Templestowe, and Harris takes a relieving mark. And Templestowe just holding up nicely for the moment.
So Harris goes back to Athanasiou, who goes dangerously to Brown, who took the mark across centre half back, and he was hot to trot, and he slammed it on his boot out to Malitzis, who has a bit of space. He might be able to even go all the way here. Malitzis kicks it towards the kid who has to set. Great mark. Good bit of play there end-to-end from the Templestowe Football Club. Wayne Brasher and Talevski will go back, and surely the big man will put this one through.
Yeah, look, this was an important move there. You know, this is what you've got to do. You've got to try and isolate Talevski one out and try and get the smaller forwards away from him.
And the fact that Kelleher has been on Talevski all day is off the ground, you know, he's taken advantage of it.
54 goals for season 2016. They don't come more important than in a grand final. Talevski comes in and he's just shanked it. I can't believe it. It was close.
Gee, that's an uncharacteristic mistake there by Talevski.
He leant back on that, I reckon.
That's a big miss for Templestowe because they really have been outplayed a little bit in the opening 10 minutes of this second quarter. They really needed that goal.
Well, it's a huge miss. Kick goes out towards the wing position. The big flyer there from Gully couldn't pull down the mark. It was knocked away from Prestigiacomo. And Presti hits the deck and wraps up Lachlan. The tackle. Warren Hillier is just like, he's not having none of this. So Prestigiacomo got the handball away, and Mariani inside forward 50 looking for Talevski again. He's going to have to take it on the bounce, the big man. This would be some sort of a goal. They can curl it back from there. He can't. Pushed it to the right-hand side. The kids kick 3 behinds. He's got to find the big sticks. And on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, it is still Upper Ferntree Gully leading this one, 4-1-25. And the mirror image of that for Templestowe is 1-4-10. 15 points the margin as we cross the 10-minute mark of this second term.
So it's time now for Upper Ferntree Gully to soak up the pressure. Long touch to the south before the kick out was smart. And the spot up was even better, but getting underneath it was Grice. So on the wing, he'll have to butter up himself, but he can't get through a tackle. It's a hot footy now. Harris will just bull his way through with a hand pass forward. On the bounce, Murphy wasn't suited, but got his hands to the ball. It didn't really get it going over, though. DeCarla couldn't move it forward.
Mariani.
And Fedonis is there, and Mariani tackled his opposite number to the ground, being Gully.
Lee Murphy was a bit unlucky there, nearly created something from nothing.
As Brucey gets into the lollies, hard ball get, and it's Mark got his kick smothered on the wing. Mariani's got it under his feet, but he gets his head down and he's got his brother there in support, and he just hand passes it out. He said, I've had enough. Get it out of here, Matthew, Mariani said. And it's still in a dangerous spot for Templestowe. They need the next goal just to keep in the contest. Boundary throw in. Nice body work out the back by Ward. Kicked a nice goal in the first term, but it's pushed out to Murphy. Murphy to Matthew Mariani. He can't take on the tackler. And he's been taken down by Tapscott. He was too firm and he stood up tall.
So Tapscott, trusty left foot kick up towards the wing position. Templestowe did have the numbers. Athanasiou, well, he's been reading the play quite well in this first half. Doubles back now. He's been called to play on. He's got to go direct, and that's the way he goes inside forward 50. But it was just a throne of kings back there as the kick goes out wide. Is Andrew Godfrey just
like
inside the defensive arc.
It was like playing lucky dip there.
Kick goes up towards the big man in Haddock, takes the mark, gets a handball away. Now here's Whiteman on the wing position. Had to arch the back, almost got legged. Umpire said it was okay. Put Murray under a fair bit of pressure, who was forced to kick instantaneously out of bounds on the full. So Fiorenza for the Dockers. This is a fast-paced game. We're really enjoying this one. Wilson had eyes for the football, got the handball away. Here's Wadsworth now, slows things up, gets it away to Brown with the linking handball. Driving kick up towards the wing position. Silva had more time than probably what he thought. Could have taken the mark, knocked it over the boundary line and out of bounds. Grant Campbell, thanks to Choose Tap Match Stats.
Inside 50s 9-5 in favour of Templestowe. They're winning contested ball 19-12. And the uncontested possessions 19-17.
Harris knocks over the ruckman in Ward as the ball got thrown back in at wing, and it's gone out again for another try at it. So Ward's just got to be ready for Harris coming in late, and he's going to stand behind him. He's not going to have that happen again. So Ward initiates body contact, but Harris got front position, knocks it down, but it doesn't suit his team. Ward's the one on the end after a hand pass, just kicks it straight up in the air, but it goes inside 50. Haddock late, one grab off the pack, two near the boundary, and it's just still in. And Templestowe are thankful for that because they'll get through Wadsworth to kick it as long as he can. Tapscott in good position, but went over the shoulder and he tried to mark. Play on pitch situation suits Wilson, and now the short pass on the bounce for Soriano. He gets wrapped up in a tackle. Upper Ferntree Gully did well at centre half back there. The burst was on, but they've held it up and the umpire will get involved.
Gee, that was really good play there by Ryan Silver there.
Oh, it was super, wasn't it, Brash?
Look, their tackling has been fantastic. They're not giving them half an inch.
No.
Ball up again. Ward does win the tap, but ground level Jackson couldn't get a kick out of the pack. Templestowe, they're trying to get the foot to the ball, but they're getting smothered as soon as they attempt it, and the ball literally didn't go anywhere after that ball up. So we're 60 metres out from Templestowe's goal as they kick to the Burwood Highway end. The umpire, it'll be interesting how the whistle goes after this contest. Soriano at the ground level picks it up, puts it on the boot. Tapscott in good position, might have been impeded, but Mariani just plays on anyway. He's on the ground, hand passes up in the air. Nice. Turnover from a bit of volleyball, works out for Picaro, the junior who could have played under 19 grand final this morning, but he's in seniors and he's kicking it to centre forward, inside 50, 2-on-2. Ground level, it's been sharp. Carroll into an open goal, one bounce, two, goal square, goal. So Carroll just drills it over the houses. They won't collect that. That's in Mount Waverley. 5-1-31. Upper Ferntree Gully. Templestowe 1-4-10.
That's really broken the back as far as I'm concerned with Templestowe at this stage of the game. Look, they had all the play up this end for most of the quarter. And look, when Upper Ferntree Gully, look, their tackling is so superb, and when they break, they're very clean. They're more positive when they break, and they've just got more composure.
It's crossed down boundary side to Josh Dorr, thanks to chiropractic betting.
Yeah, just from ground level, just want to bounce off Ray's point. Like Templestowe go inside 50, very fumbly, and the defence of Upper Gully a lot cleaner, and just skill through the wing, and they were very happy with that goal down here on boundary level.
Quinn versus Ward. Quinn won the type out from Geordie Buckingham, came out. Malitza ducked his head, but got the handball out wide. He's for Donis inside forward 50. Which way will this one bounce? Gully attacked it nice by Caden. A huge game. Flick over the back, that worked out okay. So kick up towards the wing position, maybe a bit of holding on Erasmus against Brown, and Brown will receive the free kick. No, it wasn't Brown. It was Fiorenza. So Paul Fiorenza, the stock standard long sleeves.
Rolled up
as well. Always, up towards the half forward line, but Darcy Wilson takes the mark for the Kings with the hippie Jesus look.
Sold a little bit of candy and then got wrapped up in a tackle. That was dangerous. Got it away to Ward, who wasted no time just to thump every bit of 40 metres on the football. Came down. Murphy for the Dockers. Got the handball looking for Wadsworth. Chopped off there by Martho for the Kings inside or up thereabouts of inside 50. It goes. Carroll, who kicked the last goal. He'll go after it again. Nicely done there by Fordonis. Got the handball back. Harris was in there, the big man, and I think he might have copped one high for his troubles. Bain trying to run away with it. Geordie Buckingham not having a bar of that one. So it'll be Simon Harris, who's kicked Templestowe's only goal. Gives it away to his skipper there in Matty Bain. Back to Harris. They'll look to go for the switch here. The Dockers as it goes out towards the Jackson direction. Hickleton probably gave away a free kick there. He went up with no real intention. Whiteman probably stiff to get 25, but nonetheless... Geordie Buckingham not happy with the back chat or the way the ball was returned. So it'll be Jackson moved right up to the wing position here. A short pass is on. It was a good one too. Quinn comes out. He's 60 metres from goal here. In the forward pocket presenting was Fordonis. That one was ignored. Instead he goes short and Tapscott, well, he just knows where to be. Tapscott is an absolute ripper. He'll go back now. Kick the ball back up towards the Hickleton direction. Fiorenza, the big flyer over the back umpire, said it was okay. Jackson at the fall. The ball was met by Whiteman. Coming in was Erasmus for the Kings. Got somehow boot to ball in the middle of the park here. It goes inside forward 50. They've got players all by themselves. Upper Ferntree Gully inside the 50, and it'll be another chance on goal. They're just making it look easy at the moment. Carroll, who kicked the last open goal, will go back this time and have a set shot.
BWS. Upper Gully, Templestowe trying to play Upper Gully at their own game and getting beaten hands down here.
Look, Upper Gully, they just got more composure when they got the ball, and Tempe, they're chasing tail.
Yep.
Look, if they keep going like this for the rest of this quarter, this game's going to virtually be over at half-time.
So Brad Carroll comes in now. Hickleton's got two. Can Carroll have two? It's a neat looking kick. The goal umpire did not move. Sailed straight over his head, and Upper Ferntree Gully on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. We're almost into time on here. 19 minutes gone now in this second term, and they open up a very handy 21-point lead. 5-1-31 to 1-4-10 for Templestowe. Let's cross down boundary side. Thanks to Chiropedic betting to Josh Dorr.
Yeah, boys, Anthony Mariani getting his hamstrings worked on for the last couple of minutes, and like Ray said, these Templestowe boys are coming off the interchange absolutely spent. They're just chasing tail out here.
I reckon it's 6-1 BWS because Carroll and Hickleton have kicked four.
I got 6.
Have kicked 2 each in this quarter.
Sorry, it's 6-1.
Yeah.
So Upper Ferntree Gully owning the corridor with Hards earlier, but this time it's a free kick against Risley, and Templestowe will go from the centre to the outer flank. Teleski was in good position, but it's a 2-on-2 contest. It won't suit the Templestowe team, but they might get it out of the back of the pack. Kick around the corner on the bounce. Soriano is defeated by the bounce. Murphy gets onto it, but he's running to the boundary, and the ball goes with him and out of bounds in the pocket.
I've got to say, Bryce Hards is having a terrific game in the midfield so far. Geez, he running hard.
They definitely own the centre of the ground here at the moment. Teleski's doing the roving, so he's a long way from his natural territory where he likes to roam. It's a ball up 40 metres out. Teleski versus Haddock. Haddock, of course, the ruckman wins it, but no sufficient hand pass one out yet, so it's Templestowe. They might be able to work it with numbers. One of them being Jackson. Sweeps a hand pass out to no one in particular, and keeping in front of himself is Wakefield. Does it nicely, gets the defender off him and then runs down the ring. His kick wasn't too good after all that effort, and Templestowe through Harris close to the and that's really not doing anything but wasting time.
They look down the field though, and all they see is a wall of red and blue.
So Harris on the outer wing. He's just going to prop it up. Who's going to take the mark for Templestowe? It's just a 2-on-2 contest. At ground level, the Dockers have got the numbers, but when they kick it forward, it's been chopped off by Hards.
Bang.
And now the bang, long kick by Tapscott. Gets it all the way forward. Is that a good grab? But it doesn't matter. At ground level, they're bursting inside forward. 50. First one back, though, with the Templestowe team. The hand pass to Fordonis. He's under a heap of pressure. Hickleton.
Look at that tackling.
Not only is a dangerous forward, but he's a hard man in the tackle, and he's rewarded with holding the ball, is he? Or what's going on with the umpiring? It's gone to Templestowe.
And they've reversed the decision again.
He might have pointed the wrong way, I think, because Templestowe had
it wasn't a reverse decision. It was a high tackle and back chat, so 25-metre penalty.
Yeah, it's a bit of a muddle with the umpire's gesticulations, I reckon, and everyone was a little bit confused, especially. So the kick's been loaded up to the hot spot, 30 metres out, in good position was Fiorenza, but the punch comes in by Tapscott. So it's a race for the ball at half forward. Keeping it in front of himself was Fadonis, but he leaves it behind.
Fiorenza should have gone the ball, not the player then.
But the hard men of Upper Ferntree Gully win out again, and they're happy to take it over this time through Godfrey.
Didn't want it then. Did not want the ball. That's not a good look.
They did have the numbers right in front of the broadcast position. The club room's out here at Eastfield Reserve. Haddock had the front spot, knocked it down to the advantage of Hards. He couldn't get it, but lays a strong tackle nonetheless, and we'll have a bounce 55 metres out from the Templestowe goals. They need one desperately. 22 minutes gone. Umpire Geordie Buckingham to restart play here. Quinn versus the big man in Haddock, who got the knockdown. Fiorenza got it away. Brash stopped barracking, got it away. Here's Quinn on the right boot. Can he put one through? Pushes it to the right-hand side, out of bounds on the full. Let's go to Josh Dorr, thanks to chiropractic betting.
Yeah, boys, I've been keeping an eye on Anthony Mariani. They're still doing work on him. They've been twisting his leg and now working on his lower back. I reckon he's got a little bit of a hamstring tightness really high up. Remember, they're down to 3 rotations. to Stefano out for the day.
Brad Callagher from a standing start thumps it 55 metres over the back. Jackson got the handball away. They can set something up here. Templestowe short passes on. Soriano was in position A, and we know he's a prolific goal kicker. Back into the side, and he'll have a shot on goal. He's already kicked 18 for the through. Well, Soriano, we know he's a neat kicker of the football. This is a huge kick.
They've got to kick a goal here, BWS. They must kick the goal. They've been completely out of it in this quarter.
27 points is the margin. Everything's drifted right down this end today. Soriano, will he start at left? Will he be able to kick it straight in? That's a beautiful kick. Absolutely perfect there from Soriano. Templestowe finally get their second on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 23 and a half minutes gone of this Division 3 grand final, and his margin is back to 21 points.
Well, like you said, Brash, it's a goal that Tempe had to get, but look, they've got to try and hang on until half-time, because we can't be far off half-time. If they could snare another one, it's been a good quarter for them, but up until now, they've been completely outplayed.
The enthusiasm for acknowledging the goal was a little bit down on what we expect, so they look, maybe exhaustion's coming in just before half-time. Harris didn't win a decisive tap, but he's bigger than Ward. I mean, he just spills it over the line. So they've loaded up again, Templestowe, for a shot before quarter time, or half time should I say. 24 minutes gone in this second term. It's a 21-point margin. Comes out of the back of the pack. Hards will be first one onto it. He puts his head over it, and now they'll run it out. Risley gets tackled down, gets a hand pass, says the umpire, as he's tackled. Kick off the ground was neat by Wakefield. Just used his imagination, got it in the middle of the ground, and Upper Ferntree Gully have done well. They've cleared their defence, and they've laid the tackle in the middle of the ground to reset from the ball up. Harris wins the tap, but again it was sharked by Wilson for Upper Ferntree Gully. He couldn't get through the congestion, and he spills it into the pack, and another ball up.
Wouldn't Tempe like another goal here?
They need it.
Harris goes up. Prestige Como's in there. Brought to ground strongly, which is no easy feat. But there's nothing that Tim Risley does in, loosely, so Hyder started again. Ward with the front spot. Anthony Mariani came down, picked up there by Hards, got a boot to ball. Risley was brought to ground by Mariani, so Jackson lays a strong tackle also over Tommy Marr. And Hugh Tevelin will once again start play. Harris got a little double fisted down, but nicely trapped there by Hards. Kicks the ball inside forward 50, but Al Quinn was there
easily Templestowe's best player, I feel, Al Quinn at the moment.
Got it across to Bain, who found out Wilson, who gets a little bit of space. He's got to be centimetre perfect to Melitsis, who copped one from Tatscott. Umpire said it was okay. Tatscott did extremely well. Got the handball away to Wilson for the Kings. That goes up towards the half-forward line. Wilson now for Templestowe. He hit the deck at the crucial stage. We got the handball away. Melitsis went without the pill. Umpire said play on. Mariani came charging over. So too did Jackson. In under there is Wilson for Upper Ferntree Gully.
Brash, just on that marking contest on the boundary there, Tapscott, he has the ability to make up the ground.
It's crossed down to Gus McLeod, thanks to chiropractic betting.
Boys, Anthony Mariani's ready to go after about 10 minutes of receiving treatment on his hammy and lower back, so we'll keep you posted with his condition during the game.
Great stuff there, Gus and Josh. Best seat in the house today out at Eastfield Reserve, right in amongst it.
Mariani came in with that doubt, didn't he? So he's carried a few niggles into this grand final.
Umpire Tevelin throws it up once again, and he'll probably get it back here because Mar's not going anywhere. Mariani close to him.
Dean Grice coming off, holding his ribs there too, boys.
Yeah, keep a very close eye on that one. Umpire Tevelin throws the ball up. Harris got that knocked down. Mariani charging after it. Risley in there through the head back, but let's have another stoppage. Grant Campbell, some stats that matter thanks to Choose Tap Match stats deep into this second term.
Well, surprisingly, the inside 50 count for this quarter was 17-11 in favour of Templestowe, so they're getting the ball inside 50 enough, just not making the most of it.
Half-time in the big Division 3 grand final out here at Eastfield Reserve between Upper Ferntree Gully and the Templestowe Football Club. 6-1-37, the Kings, they're kicking straight. They're making Templestowe pay, who are 2-4-16. The major goal kickers on the ground at the moment is Brad Carroll and Tate Higgleton for the Kings. They have 2 each apiece. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. 98.1 Radio Eastern is streaming live around the globe, EFL.org.au. Hope you enjoyed the first half, because the second half is going to be something special. We'll go back and have some messages in our Radio Eastern studios and then come back with the big Pie Shed halftime show.
Hey, man. Yeah, man. Hope we win this weekend. Oh, I hope we win too. Because I want to kick some weekend goals at Pancake Parlour after the game. Because if your AFL team wins, you can go in and get a free sweet pancake with any savoury menu item purchase. Oh, free pancake. First your team wins and then your belly wins. It's win-win, man. Claim your free sweet pancake with any savoury item purchase just by showing your winning team's colours. Or your team membership at any Pancake Parlour this weekend. Oh, and don't forget, check out Facebook for this week's offer. Lovely.
Program sponsor.
EFL.org.au is the place to be online for all the latest on the Eastern Football League. Keep up to date by checking out the latest news and feature articles. Have your say in the EFL poll. Check out all the latest EFL videos, and best of all, you can listen back to any EFL radio program at any time. Head to EFL.org.au. The Eastern Football League. Local footy at its best.
Chiropractic Mattress Factory Direct. It's the Aussie family company that's been manufacturing mattresses in Melbourne since 1991. They offer a huge range, and selected mattresses come with everyday deals like free delivery, old mattress removal, 30-day comfort guarantee, and up to 20 years warranty. Buy direct from the factory and never pay retail prices again. Chiropractic Mattress Factory Direct. Locations all around Melbourne and country Victoria. Or shop online 24/7 for mattresses, bases, beds, pillows, and custom-sized mattresses at chiropractic.net.au.
Bigger and
Program
better in
sponsor.
season 2016, Netball EFL is back. The fastest growing competition in the eastern suburbs continues to expand. Don't miss the fast-paced action every Friday night across multiple venues. For more information or to get involved, head to efl.org.au.
Dave and his mates are flying to the Gold Coast to watch their team play the Suns. Do they B, pay too much for a taxi, C, hope for an airport rail link this century, or D, get a lift from a mate and hope for the best when they fly home?
What about A for A1 Airport Parking? At A1 Airport Parking, get 2 days for $25, 3 days for $34, or get 7 days parking for just $69. And at just 5 minutes from the airport, they'll get you there in time for your flight and pick you up when you get home. Show your footy or sporting club membership anytime you park and get 10% off. A1airportparking.com.au.
Program sponsor.
Nothing better than a companion to keep you up to date with all the latest when you're at the footy. Better still, one that fits in your back pocket. The Eastern Footballer is a must-read. All the latest information, team lists, feature articles and much, much more. Pick up your copy this weekend as you love it local across the Eastern Football League.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Welcome back to Eastfield Reserve as we come back to half-time. A shout out to the EFL UA Life members having their end of year function. Of course, creating chaos up here in the rooms at Eastfield Reserve. But on the field, there is plenty of people. It's amazing how many people have filtered out onto the ground to have a kick-to-kick at half-time. Before that, though, it was Upper Ferntree Gully 6-1-37, Templestowe 2-4-16. My name is Dyson Baker. I'm joined at half-time by Brett Beston. Mate, how have you seen the first half so far? It's really one of those games where Upper Gully haven't necessarily controlled the play, but they still find themselves 21 points up.
Yeah, it's a bit of a strange one, isn't it? I thought they were pretty good early, but Templestowe just came back in the second part, or the second quarter, and suddenly the ball, I mean, it's hard to believe, 21 points in front, and you'd have to think Upper Gully are going to have quite a job getting back into the game, particularly the way the game's flowing at the moment.
Gus McLeod, you've been boundary side thanks to chiropractic betting. Pretty physical game so far.
Yeah, really brutal on ground level. I can hear the slaps, the body hitting the ground, and Upper Gully ball hard, but Templestowe want to get back into this uncharacteristic 25 metres out. I think Templestowe want to address their goal kick in half-time toss.
Yeah, well, almost the same. 7 scoring shots to 6, and they still find themselves some 20-odd points down. So, an intriguing game so far. Physically demanding contest this afternoon. Just running through the goal kickers so far. Brad Carroll has 2 goals for this afternoon. Tate Hickleton, if I can spit it out, has 2, and then singles to Ben Ward and Jordan Whiteman. While for Templestowe, single goal kickers, 1 apiece to their big ruckman Simon Harris and Anthony Soriano, saluting late in that second term to give his side 2 goals to half time. I mean, it's not even the inaccuracy in front of goal. Just going forward, there's no real push and drive. They just seem to be stagnant going forward.
They're getting beaten in the midfield to Templestowe, and that's obviously the area where the game is often won and lost. So if they can get parity in the midfield, they've got to do that first before they can even think about getting the ball forward.
I think their transition also, Brett, needs to work. Quite often they're getting the ball in the half-back line, and when they're trying to reload off the half-back flank, they're turning the ball over or making poor decisions. And I think that's where it's really hurting Templestowe, because the times they are going in forward, they're rushed. It's not clean, and I think the real message at half-time is going to be 1, goal kicking, and 2, looking after your craft and executing well, Dyson.
Yeah, it certainly will be. Your thoughts on some of the players that have stood out so far? I mean, there's no one really who's... I mean, Templestowe, to me, it's been a bit of an all-round performance. Yeah, a couple of guys have had a few standout moments and then struggled throughout. But for Upper Ferntree Gully, any key players that have really stood out to you?
I really like Brad Carroll. Seeing him up close in person, there's a lot of him. He's built like a triangle, massive at the top, and then he caves in towards the legs. He's got
misleg day.
Yeah, he has misleg day, big Brad Carroll. But when he tackles people, he crunches them into the ground, and he does it fairly as well. And he manages to go forward and kick a few goals, playing off the half-forward line in midfield. Now, I think he's got 2 so far. I've also liked the work of Tate Hickleton in patches, although he has been a little bit clumsy going up for a few big hangers and so forth. But I really like the work of Ward as well. I think he's been excellent running across the ground. I just think for Templestowe, this is the hard part. Who's really played well for them? I can't really think of anyone. I think Soriano's been okay.
I think the key frustration will be for Rick Irwin at half-time is that Simon Harris has probably been the dominant ruckman on the ground. He just hasn't been able to get any drive in the midfield. The Mariani boys have been quiet, and then from there, that sort of filtered. That they seem, as the X-Factor players, they seem to filter their form through the rest of the team. If they can find that drive in the second half, they should be able to push forward.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, when you've got key players and they're not playing well, it's really hard. I mean, often the key players, if they're firing, they'll drag everyone else with them, but they're not playing. The other guy I want to mention too in the Upper Ferntree Gully side is Tab Scott. I thought he's been really good down back, so he's another one to look out for. So they just need Templestowe just need their key players to fire. They need to get more dominance, or need to get any dominance at all in the midfield, and they just need to try and create some more opportunities up front and kick straight.
And then obviously Templestowe are down to 3 on the bench, and if Mariani's hamstring doesn't quite get up, that'll be down to 2. And Dyson, I think, that'll make the job a whole lot harder than what it already is.
Yeah, they were
there was a lot of talk about him during the week that there was a lot of players who were potentially underdone coming back into this side. Obviously, Rick Elwyn didn't want to play anyone who wasn't 100% match fit. He sort of had to make a few adjustments to his side, and it may be playing against him so far in this grand final. I mentioned it before, but I'll mention it again before we sort of cross back from half-time, is I reckon there's probably a good couple of hundred people having a kick out in the middle of the ground at the moment. If you're watching the stream and you're within QE of East Build Reserve, make sure you come down, because this game is, I mean, we've been talking Templestowe down a fair bit, but this game is nowhere near done. It's only a 21-point margin. Templestowe will kick with the breeze in this third term. If Rick Elwyn can spark them a little bit, and if they can be leading at three-quarter time, they know exactly what sides can do coming out into that final term. They've been overrun in a final quarter before. They won't be wanting to let it happen again. So
well, this is it. I mean, we've been sort of painting a bit of a bleak picture, like the game's almost all over. But really, I mean, it's a 21-point margin. It's, you know, a couple of goals, and we've got game on again.
The thing that's going to be really critical for Templestowe, they want to get back in this game, they've got to kick the first 2 goals. And I think if they don't do that, it's going to be very hard for them to come back. But don't rule them out. The third quarter is a Premiership quarter, and Rick Elwyn will be using the reserves in his inspiration, the massive fan. There's a lot of purple and black jackets out here, so you know I think Templestowe are right in this game.
It's a funny one. I mean, sometimes we see now, and this is the situation that obviously you don't want to be in, down by 21 points at half-time, but you often see that sides try to put too much on sort of leading at three-quarter time when they're coming back into a game, and that's when you tend to see a side come back from a big deficit, hit the lead, and all of a sudden they drop 3 or 4 goals in a row. Yep. I think if you were Rick Elwyn, you'd say, well, we defend like we've never defended before, so we don't let them score against the breeze, and if we can score 2 to 3 this quarter and get within 12 points, then they're well within their shot to say. Because, I mean, you look at what happened last year, and we thought that the Basin was kicking with a relatively strong breeze in the last quarter of the Division 3 Grand Final last year. In the end, Mitcham kicked 6 against it. Anything can happen in football, I suppose.
Absolutely. Defence is crucial. I mean, we saw that earlier in the day in the 3rd Division Reserves final. Terrific defence, and it's absolutely crucial. So if you can shut the other side down and deny them the opportunities and get something going yourself, well, you're halfway to, you know, to doing the job.
And Templestowe do have a very solid back six led by Alex Wadsworth, and he's been really good in this first half, and I think he's got enough ability to take it up another notch and drag the other back 5 along with him, Dos.
What about Prestia Giacomo? He's been really quiet, hasn't he? He needs to get into the game more.
He's floating at the moment.
Yeah, he is. He's kind of hovering around, and I think in the second half, well, I've noticed in the first half, when he does get his hands on the footy, he's doing good things with it. We're just not seeing as much from him as
but perhaps he might be the key. He might be the guy that needs to really impose himself and take control of the game.
He is a senior player at Templestowe Footy Club, so I'm sure Rick Elwyn would like a little bit more output on the game from him.
Well, half-time, pretty long half-time break. Maybe I'm just soaking in the atmosphere out on the ground at the moment. Upper Ferntree Gully, if you've just joined us, controlling the play at the moment, or not necessarily controlling the play, just more controlling on the scoreboard and able to be accurate. They've kicked 6-1 to half-time, 6-1-37. Templestowe lacking opportunities going forward, missing opportunities going forward, and they find themselves at half-time 2-4-16. As I mentioned, if you're out and about in the eastern suburbs, make sure you come down to East Build Reserve. Because there is still plenty of space. I'm sure there's parking. If you head down towards the Burvale, you might be able to get a park, because I think she'll be pretty busy out on Burwood Highway this afternoon. Before we cross back, or before we get some sponsor messages and we wait for sides to come out, just one final tip from both you gentlemen. Obviously, we've probably talked down Templestowe's first half, and then we've probably pumped them up in a way as well, saying that they're still a genuine threat in this game. But who wins?
Look, I still think Upper Ferntree Gully will win. I mean, they've been the best side all year, which doesn't necessarily count for anything come grand final day. I mean, you can still get beaten, but I think they've got enough there. They're 20 points in front, and really they'll just have to keep doing what they've been doing. And it's Templestowe that have to rise to the occasion, and I'm just not sure on the evidence of what we've seen, whether they're going to be able to do that.
I'm with you on that one, Brett. I tipped Upper Gully to win by 40 points, and I'll stick true to that. I think that this lead they've got got themselves in a good position, Dice. I think Templestowe will be too much for them to come back from.
My tip for mine, Templestowe, I reckon will play themselves right back into this game.
It's a big call.
I genuinely think they're a threat in this contest. I just think there's too many players that have been down for too long in this game, and I expect a few of them to fire in the second half. Umpires are out in the middle of Eastfield Reserve. Plenty of supporters. That'll shift very quickly once we go to a break, and we'll get both the Kings and the Dockers back out on Eastfield Reserve. At half-time, it's Upper Ferntree Gully 6-1-37, Templestowe 2-4-16.
Hey, man. I've got some weekend goals. Like what? First, wake up around lunchtime. Oh, yeah. Second, go into Pancake Parlour and get one of their traditional breakfasts because it's served till 5 p.m. every day.
You gotta go to Pancake Parlour for your weekend goals. Yeah, what else?
And then when I'm all full, like in your belly, just sit on the couch and watch me team kick some winning goals.
Bang, goal!
Pancake Parlour's weekend goals.
Up and about and lovely.
Program sponsor.
EFL.org.au is the place to be online for all the latest on the Eastern Football League. Keep up to date by checking out the latest news and feature articles. Have your say in the EFL poll. Check out all the latest EFL videos, and best of all, you can listen back to any EFL radio program at any time. Head to EFL.org.au. The Eastern Football League. Local footy at its best.
How would you like to be celebrated?
I think a barbie in the backyard would be nice.
I would go to the beach.
Possibly a costume party.
This sounds silly, but I'd like people to bring their pets.
I'd have a karaoke machine.
What's coming to my head is an ice sculpture.
Lots of cakes.
Cheesecake.
Lemon meringue pie.
And probably every flavour of ice cream ever.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, they know that every life is unique, and they think that every celebration should be too. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Program sponsor. Chiropedic Mattress Factory Direct for mattresses, bases, beds, electric beds, trundle beds, quality pillows, as well as custom-sized mattresses made to measure. Factory Direct locations around Melbourne and country Victoria. To keep up to date on the latest sales, fun facts and news, go to Facebook, search and like Chiropedic Mattress Factory Direct, and you'll join over 17,000 Facebook fans. Chiropedic Mattress Factory Direct. Buy direct from the factory and never pay retail prices again. Or shop online at chiropedic.net.au. Program sponsor.
Nothing better than a companion to keep you up to date with all the latest when you're at the footy. Better still, one that fits in your back pocket. The Eastern Footballer is a must-read. All the latest information, team lists, feature articles and much, much more. Pick up your copy this weekend as you love it local across the Eastern Football League.
Dave and his mates are flying to the Gold Coast to watch their team play the Suns. Do they B, pay too much for a taxi, C, hope for an airport rail link this century, or D, get a lift from a mate and hope for the best when they fly home?
What about A for A1 Airport Parking? At A1 Airport Parking, get 2 days for $25, 3 days for $34, or get 7 days parking for just $69. And at just 5 minutes from the airport, they'll get you there in time for your flight and pick you up when you get home. Show your footy or sporting club membership anytime you park and get 10% off. A1airportparking.com.au.
Program sponsor.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Yes, welcome back out to Eastfield Reserve Division 3 Grand Final Day in the Eastern Football League, and it is Upper Ferntree Gully, the undefeated Kings of 2016, going in with a handy 21-point lead at half-time. Or both sides are back out on the park here as we just wait for the crowd to make their final moves over the fence. As we cross down to the fence is Josh Dorr, thanks to Chiropedic Betting.
Yeah, boys, just step back outside again. There's a little bit of a breeze floating around. It just feels like there might be some rain around the corner, so just keep an eye out for that one.
Thanks very much to Josh Dorr. Tate Hickleton has 2 goals, so does Brad Carroll for the Kings. Templestowe have had their chances, Brash, but missed some easy ones in front of goal, but there's just been more polish about Upper Ferntree Gully in that first half.
Yeah, I think that Templestowe have tried to play Upper Ferntree Gully at their own game and getting simply beaten. I just reckon though, BWS, I reckon Templestowe are down to 2 on the bench because I don't reckon Anthony Mariani's moving all that well again because he's starting on the bench again, and if he was right, they'd be having him right back out here.
Yeah, well, our boundary riders have been right on top of those sorts of things all afternoon. And here's Gavin Casey to take us away with the second half of the Division 3 Grand Final.
Harris versus Haddock. Harris wins the tap. Mariani was first onto it, but the tackles came in thick and fast. And it's going to be another ball up. Interesting.
That's a free kick.
It's a free kick over the shoulder, so Mariani picks himself up nice and quick. He's got a couple of leads left and right. He hands it off to the runner. Afanasio gets taken down, and it just didn't work out. There's such a congested forward line. Got lost, and Grice, great tackle, gets it to half forward, gets it towards Calvert. He gets knocked down in the marking contest, but at ground level they win it again up at Ferntree Gully. Get it deep into the pocket. First there is Erasmus, but he trailed his opponent in Brown, and they see it over into the forward pocket.
Really good kick by Maher inside forward 50, then just got boot to ball and gained a valuable 30 metres.
So Templestowe wouldn't want to concede the first goal in this second half. They trail by 21 points. Harris wins the tap down. Scrapping for the ball is Bedonis. And again, another ball up. 30 metres out from the goals of Upper Ferntree Gully as they go to the Burwood Highway. Calvert, good bodywork, punch forward. Picked up by Risley. His kick was smothered. And another possession by Whiteman, but he gets taken down in the tackle and 20 metres out from goals. It's Upper Ferntree Gully just gaining inches, but they go a mile in this contest if they get another free kick goal, because Calvert, it was jumped all over it and it's a push. According to the umpire, how did you see that, Ray?
I wonder whether that was not a premeditated attempt, because in that last ruck contest, he went to the ground and he was injured, and he got up and straight away he went there and went the man. I didn't think that was premeditated.
So Calvert, who stood up to the pressure in terms of the ruck contest, but from 20 metres out, about a 20-degree angle, he leans back, and that was terrible. It looked lazy. That's how poor he leant back on it. And a miss from Calvert went out on the full.
Gee, what a golden opportunity there.
Dan Jackson got to be close to Carla, was there, took a strong mark, got the handball away. He's Athanasiou on the right boot, runs it out. It's Verdona, up towards the wing position, out looking for Harris, who'll want to make amends for that last free kick. Tap Scott, who's been super, kept the ball alive, had little handball inside from Nagel, got it back, and then on the right boot goes into Levski. So the big full forward comes out. He's kicked 3 behinds in the first half, and I tell you what, he needs to put this one through the kid. This will be a big go for Templestowe for what should have been a goal down the other end, and then all of a sudden it could be a 12-point play, Brash.
Yeah, you just can't afford to miss those ones when you get a gift horse in the mouth BWS.
Talevski starts his approach from just outside the 50. He'll kick from 45. Comes in now on the right boot. He sends that straight over the goal umpire's head. That's the start Templestowe wanted in this third term. And on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, 3 minutes in, they move on to 3-4-22. Margin back to 15 points out here at East Beld Reserve. Upper Ferntree Gully 6-1-37.
Yeah, you were dead right, Brash. You cannot afford to miss when you get opportunities like that, particularly when the opposition take the ball straight down the other end and make you pay.
Because that went from a 20. Went to a 27-point lead then for Upper Gully. Would have been hard then for Tempe to come back.
Ball back in the middle of the ground. Harris got it from the fall. Came out. Mariani couldn't quite trap the pill. Grice was on his hammer. Came in Nagel. Mariani with the free kick. As the Dockers looked to switch it across half forward.
Mariani was taken with the tackle. His kick to centre forward was marked. Well, Upper Ferntree Gully will play on anyway. And Tapscott working in congestion. Hands it to Risley. He's quick with the hands. Little bit of trouble for them in defence, but Templestowe can't grab it out of the pack. And Fiorenza gets dumped in a tackle. The ball is a hard one to get, and it's even harder when you get it.
Gee, you're lucky you get away with that, because that was definitely a sling tackle. That could have gone either way.
Yeah,
now.
I think it was really good umpiring to let that one go.
Fiorenza and Haddock. Haddock wins the tap. It's a bit of volleyball as they get it over the net up at Ferntree Gully, that being at the outside 50, and the umpire will quick to ball it up. He sees a lot of numbers around the ball. Ball up, 60 metres from Templestowe. Fiorenza, big jump. Fiorenza knocks it inside 50. Will it open up for Templestowe, or will the defence come through? And the defence doing nicely. Grice just gets it onto the left boot, high up and under. Coming late was Wadsworth, but he drops it. Still in the contest is Fordonis. Fordonis high up and under to 50. No mark taken ground level. It's Murphy, puts it on his boot quickly, but Tapscott, what courage.
Ever reliable Tapscott.
Drifted back and took the mark over Soriano.
Gee, Tapscott, he's been absolutely magnificent down there today.
So Tapscott out of the defensive zone. Standing strong there was Jake Calvert. Takes the mark, it almost just fell into his arms then, drives it up towards the wing position over the back. Now a foot race will ensue. Mar will be the first one to meet it, got a little toe poke on it. Can he trap the football? Prestige Comer's there, Hickleton off the ground, you little beauty! Wow, Tate Hickleton, he's cutting a lap as well to celebrate that one. What a fantastic goal that was, that's his third, and the quick answer from the Upper Ferntree Gully Football Club. It doesn't matter, it's gone through for a goal. It was a goal, and the ball we brought back to the middle. So Upper Ferntree Gully 7-1-43 to Templestowe 3-4-22. Take a bow, Tate Hickleton.
It was an accident, wasn't it?
It was. When things are going your way, they go your way, because it was an accident, and he really did. He probably had 25% of his leg on the ball. You know, that's right.
Let's cross down boundary side to Gus McLeod, thanks to chiropractic betting.
Boys, a lot of spoken about Anthony Mariani. He's stuck in the forward pocket now, so I don't think his role in the midfield will go much on for today.
And just the umpires got together, but Hillier on the spot, called it a goal under the foot. Mariani, Matt took it, but he got taken down in a free kick, but the second umpire, Hillier, said it was over the shoulder. So there's an argument between both umpires recently, but this time Templestowe win it. No, ever reliable Tapscott. Well, he marked it, but he pushed off Anthony Mariani, he said.
I was going to say he's mouthing off there, and he's giving away 25.
So this game, there's been an interesting passages of play umpiring-wise, and the players might be confused, and Tapscott's not happy. And he's dropped the ball, being challenged by Bain, or Bain telling him how happy he is about what's going on, and Anthony Mariani will test the hamstring.
Yes.
So he's got a back-related hamstring, is what we believe, and he's 25 metres to 30 metres out on a pretty acute angle. So on the right boot, he's put it out right and it's never coming back. And that's a minor score. Templestowe are 3-5-23. They're 20 points trailing on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard as Upper Ferntree Gully is 7-1-43.
Some might say that was poetic justice there, Gav.
Yeah, but what Chad Rogers has got to do though, Brash, he's got to get that discipline back into his side.
So from the kick in, big driving kick. Malitzis couldn't pull down the mark. Haddock's in there, the big man for the Kings. On hands and knees, we'll hand it back to the umpire.
You're right. I think Chad just needs to send the runner out a bit and just around the ground and say, settle down.
Haddock got the fist on that one. Soupy Presty from the side got his own little handle on it as well. It came out. Murray snaps around the body, kicks up into space. Harris will be the flyer there. Got a knock on. Comes down to Hards, and there the Kings will look to go through the middle, but putting themselves under a fair old bit of pressure. Wakefield couldn't break the tackle.
Brash, that's also where your leadership group comes in. They're the ones that should be out there telling them to settle down.
Haddock knocked it to his own advantage, took after it. Mariani was in there, so too Tom Marr. Just inside the centre square here. No advantage to either side. Umpire Buckingham just clearing the area and restarting this play. Harris got the knockdown over the back there. Now it'll be the Kings through the arms of Galley. Snaps around the body. His kick was a little bit too skew-if there for Donis. Was the first one to hit the ball. He hit the ground. Whiteman was in there. Got released it just in time. Matt Mariani leaking handball, but found straight into the arms of Wakefield, who hits Hickleton on the chest, 45 metres out from goal, directly in front, and Tate will go back and try and put through his fourth of the afternoon.
He hand passed it like he was his teammate. He scooped it out to the middle of the ground and he's gone, oops.
Might have heard the call. Hickleton, distance won't be a problem. The accuracy just troubled him at the last moment, drifted to the right-hand side. Second behind of the afternoon. They've been kicking straight at the Kings, haven't they? 7-2-44. They lead by 21 points over Templestowe. We've crossed 9 minutes here in the third quarter, the Premiership quarter of the Division 3 Grand Final.
7-2 Upper Ferntree Gully, 3-2 to Hickleton. So he's having a big impact. Kick out goes long and direct to the centre of the ground, almost to the centre of the circle. A Falcon as it hit one of the players on the head, but Upper Ferntree Gully rebound quickly. Underneath it is Risley coming in late, nicely marked by Lachlan. He's quick to play on, looks to the open side, and Hickleton runs into it, but it just gets beyond him in the pocket. He keeps it in front, nearly gets out of a tackle. Maybe was tackled without it, he says, and it's out of bounds anyway. 30 metres around from the goals of Upper Gully. So Heckleton ever dangerous. The ball just drifted away from him when it was passed into his leading area. At the back of the pack, Templestowe do well to get it to Prestigiacomo. He's under a heap of pressure, and the tackle is ferocious there by Grice. The umpire ball it up 40 metres out.
I think Templestowe sense that they've got to get back into it in this quarter, otherwise it's all is lost.
Quick kick out of the pack by Jackson, gets it into the centre. Fiorenza on the bounce, beautiful. Then he just drifts onto his left foot. A contest at half forward. They both fall over, but picking himself up is Soriano. 60 metres out,
shocker.
no time to compose himself. So that is a dribbler off the left, and it's been turned over. Still a contest on the outer side. Umpire calls advantage, and Upper Gully are ready to take it. They go outer side. They're racing through. Risley gets it to his teammate in Lockman. And then the kick in the pocket. Grice just drifts onto the ball, curls it on the right, goes across the face. That would have been goal of the year if he just was poetic like a gazelle.
Hit the post, Gav.
Well, it got that close. And I was seeing it drift and hit the post. Left side though.
So Brown for Templestowe. Well, two players just left it. Marwin, thank you, mother, for the Rabbits. Gets it off the Grice, who just goes back. Well, good sides make you pay when you make silly mistakes in the back line. And Upper Ferntree Gully did just that. Dean Grice, what a class act he is. He gets his first goal on the board. And Upper Ferntree Gully, what a big goal that was for them. 8-3-51. The margin is 28 points. Templestowe 3-5-23.
You're dead right, BWS. That was a huge goal. I cannot possibly see at this stage of the game the way they're playing if Tempe can get back into this game. It's going to have to be a huge effort to do it, and I don't think they've got the legs. They've come into this game 3 hard finals.
Ball back in the middle. Ward gets it on the second effort, but Mariani put his body on the line. He's hurt, he's been winded, but Upper Gully get it out of the contest. Big fly by Hards. Punch comes in, gets back into the centre where Ward picks it up, takes on the tacklers. Here's Haddock at centre half forward, takes on a tackler as well. But this time he's wrapped up and the ball's not bouncing around after Afanasio.
Tell you what, it looks like a big fiery Scotsman there, Haddock.
Yeah, big red head with a big beard. As the ball's just being punched around now, wide open, Nagel gets it and he's got a bit of dash. He takes on the tackler, Ward, treated him like a witch's post, and his kick has been chopped off. Disappointing. Tapscott takes the mark. He's always in the right position.
Short passes on. Mark's taken by Godfrey. Across the half back line now for Upper Ferntree Gully. Godfrey's allowed to gain about 10 metres as no one was on the mark. Kick up towards the Murray direction. Big fly by Harris over the back to knock it over the boundary line and out of bounds right near our chiropractic betting boundary riders. Templestowe interchange.
Who's the game breaker for Templestowe? Don't see them being ignited by anyone at the moment.
The umpires paid a free kick to Templestowe. Hugh Tevelin just working out if there was an advantage to Mariani, but elected to bring the ball back. So Harris.
So this is where they're hesitant. This is where they're falling down.
And he was hesitant too, Ray, as he was going to do the handball, then kicks the ball up inside forward 50, looking for Fiorenza. Nicely done there. And Matt Mariani got it away to Soriano on the left boot. Kicks it to the top of the goal square. Murphy's a clever player, and he's a class act too, Murph. He puts it through for his first goal, and what a timely one it was for the Templestowe Football Club. Bendigo Bank scoreboard as we cross the 14-minute mark of this third term. They get their fourth. They creep closer. It's a 22-point margin out here at East Burwood.
And Talevsky, is it hobbling off there on the boundary line, is it? Just come off?
No, that's Mariani.
Mariani,
again.
okay, yeah. He's gone, I reckon. The way he was hobbling off then, he won't come back.
Talevsky's got hair, eh?
Right.
Well, we go boundary side for the chiropractic betting.
Yeah, it was Mariani, boys. Anthony Mariani. He had that shot from before, and after that goal, that set shot at goal, he hasn't really got much of the ball. That hamstring really testing him.
Ward just uses his body, even though it's a centre contest. Lockman gets onto it, and he gets taken down without kicking it. Grice just tries to load up, but that kick smothered, and the ball stays in the centre. There's two circles there. It's gone one from the other next door, and we're still in the middle of East Burwood Reserve. 22 points of difference. Templestowe would love a goal at this time of the game. They've struggled hard to get what they've got so far this term. Bit of class by Murphy then, only a moment ago. Mariani just keeps going through the pack. If he has to crawl through mud, he would do so. And he gets it to centre forward just through adrenaline, and over the top comes a free kick to Godfrey, and it looked like it's a bit of an accidental knee over the shoulder as Godfrey was bending down, and it'll be a free kick, or leaving free kick for Upper Gully.
Been pretty quiet, Matty Bain, as the kick comes out now. Murray was by himself to Carla over the back. Murphy at the fall of the ball, got the handball away to Nagel. This way, that way. Somehow squeezed a kick inside forward 50. Chasing after it hard. There was Silver. Attacked the footy really well. Got the handball away. Lachlan this way, that way. Let's go backwards. Callagher now snaps around the body out towards the wing position. Looking for Silver. What a chase that was. A1 Airport mark of the day so far for that chase. Swings around now on the left boot. Kicks it up towards the half forward line. Out in front there was Brad Carroll. He's kicked 2 goals for the Kings, and he'll come up now. There 2 kicks from home, kicks it straight into the man of the mark, right underneath the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. The ball is seen over and out. So crowd really getting into this game. 22 points is the margin. 16 minutes gone almost in this third term. 51-29. Upper Ferntree Gully have the lead. It'll be Ward to go up against Harris. Grice came in at the fall of the ball. Nicely done there from Fedonis. Broke the tackle, got the handball away to Matt Mariani. He broke the tackle, snapped it up towards the direction there of his teammate there in Williams. Got the handball away to Wilson inside Soriano. Talking about class players. He's on the left. It's going to be a difficult shot. Can he put it through? He can't. He used the check side. He had some runners beside him, but he elected to go for it, Soriano, and he put it through for one behind. 21 points is the margin now. Upper Ferntree Gully 51-30.
What about Nagel running through the corridor all on his own? Probably didn't have the eyes for it. As the kick from full back goes out to the pocket, and they'll just slow it down Upper Gully. They know the pace. They've got a couple of paces in them. They'll under pressure, and they'll to the wind's been marked by Brown, who hand passes back into problems, and Upper Gully turn it over. Hickleton's the recipient of the kick to half forward. Now he's got options. It's going to open up. Grice was on early. Now it's just going to be a long and hopeful ball to Ward. He's up against 3, but the big man will push his way through and try to get on the end of it, but he can't. Numbers win out, and Fedonis collects it. He kicks it to Fiorenzo, who runs onto it. He's off and racing. He's a scooter. He gets the ball and he just charges towards goal. He kicks it long and 2 direct, and the numbers back there with Callagher, and then he kicks out in the full. So he rushed himself. Just when I said they slow down when under pressure, he should have.
Fiorenzo goes inside forward 50. The kid was out. He couldn't pull the mark down. Matt Mariani got the handball away. They're across the 50 here, and in luck's a fortune, Harris comes in and takes a mark. So the big man will have a shot 45 metres out directly in front. He's kicked the first goal for Templestowe this afternoon, and he'd love to put through his second and their 5th to get them back to within 15 points. Simon Harris, deliberate in his approach. He knows how big this kick is. Comes in now. Beautiful kick off the boot, and listen to the Templestowe fans get behind that one. That's his second. That's Templestowe's 5th on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. We're about to hit time on here in this third term. The Premiership quarter. It's a 15-point margin here. 51 plays 36.
Gav, you said earlier, who do you think could be the game breaker for Templestowe? It's got to be Matt Mariani in the midfield, because he's the only one that can generate any drive out of the midfield into their forward 50.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's not a scary margin anymore. It would have been scary how the game was being played, but the margin's only 15 points now. So Templestowe, we know that they've got goals to get. They can burst through. And Mariani again, strength. He just gets it on to Nagel. Nagel rushes the left boot, puts it inside 50. Fiorenzo and Soriano, who was first to the ball, close to the boundary line, got the pace to keep it in. Hands it out the back to Anthony Mariani. He hasn't got the fitness, and it's turned over to Wilson. Wilson for Upper Gully just clears it with a 50-metre kick, and will go boundary side. Chiropractic betting.
Boys, you might see Adrian Tripscott running to the boundary on number 12 for the Upper Ferntree Gully Football Club. Looks like he's done his knee. I'll keep you posted.
We'll keep an eye on that one.
Gee, he'll be a big loss for Upper Gully.
Yeah, Tapscotty's been
he's been terrific.
A great player so far.
Oh, there he is going
by
now.
Tevelin. Just asking for the football back. It's 80 metres out from the Templestowe goals. Almost 20 minutes gone in third term. Knock over the back. Hards was there, trapped it well, did really well there, Hards. Broke two, got it away to Whiteman, and now the Kings are off and running towards Erasmus, who got one handle on it. He might get another go. Quinn came in, little toe poker. That's going to work out nice and handy, and it'll go right towards that boundary line. Might stay in eventually. Well done there by Quinn. Got it back to Wadsworth. Hickleton's in there also, brought to ground. Umpire Warren Hillier says, give it to me, boys. We'll bounce this one up on the painter 50.
Got to say, I'm liking this last 5 minutes. This is really good, tight football again.
50 metres out from the Kings' goals. Harris goes backwards, got it to Brown, who snapped it just out of that danger zone. Malitzis was there, got a half volley, came off his knee. Nicely done by Dan Jackson. Bain was there. Mariani came barging his way through. He just tried to do too much there, Matty. Got brought to ground, so it'll be a free kick to Upper Ferntree Gully. There are 2 kicks from home at the moment. Good spot up there. Lachlan takes it at the 50 off a standing start inside forward 50. Calvin, he was there. Brown was there to mop up for Templestowe. And forward, stolen by Whiteman. Yeah, little pearler. That is fantastic late. Front and centre. Took the ball and slammed it home. That's his second goal of the afternoon, and what a very important one for Upper Ferntree Gully after Templestowe had snagged a couple in a row and got back into this contest. The margin back out to 21 points to the Kings.
What a fantastic player little Jordan Whiteman has been. He kicked the first goal of the game. That was an absolutely miraculous goal. The way he just charged through, he smothered the hand pass, the ball rolled his way, fair enough, but then he put it right through the middle.
Pancake Parlour play of the day so far.
Centre contest won by Upper Ferntree Gully. The man off the bench, Carroll, picks it up. He's kicked 2 goals, but he's going to be the man who delivers it. Smothered off the boot, picked up by Fedonis. Evan Fedonis got in there, but the handball was there. Bouncing off them was Risley. Whiteman again. Did he walk into a tackle? It's too high. And Wadsworth is berserk. He's seething with anger. He said, he ran into me. I was just standing there. And Whiteman just knew what to do. He milked the free kick. The little man got low and he took on the tackler.
I reckon after that, Whiteman obviously barracks for North Melbourne, mate.
Yeah, it is reminiscent, but he's 50 metres out. And he's got a bit of an injury.
Absolute professional free kick, and well done to him. Had to attack it, got down low, put his head right where it needed to be.
Short pass, beautiful. He waited until they all fell asleep at Templestowe, and it's Picaro, the youngster, who's played half his season in under-19s, and when he's come up, he's stood up to senior level.
This is really going to hurt Templestowe after having momentum. They could concede the last 2 goals and go down even more than what they were down at half-time.
He's a goal kicker, kicked many goals.
Yes, he is.
He's 14 goals in a limited time in the seniors, and this will just lift the lid for Upper Gully, who have restored the charge. And now Picaro from 40 metres out, not much of an angle. He lines it up, puts it to right post, and he's never coming back. Minus score, 22 points of difference.
Let's cross down boundary side to Josh Doyle, thanks to chiropractic betting.
Good news for Upper Gully boys. Adrian Tapscott just doing some light jogging around the boundary. Looks a lot better than when he first came off. And bad news for Templestowe because Anthony Mariani's been struggling with that tight hamstring. He's now put some ice on it. He's sitting down next to the fence. His day looks pretty much done.
Alex Brown to bring the ball back into play. To Jackson. Just inside the defensive arc. Goes further afield here. On a break it was that man in Athanasiou, the tackler. And over she goes for a boundary throw in right in front of the Templestowe bench, in front of Rick Irwin and co. Try to bring the ball back in now. Marr was at the fall of the ball, as was Risley, who dived straight on top of it. Umpire Geordie Buckingham asked for the ball back. True centre wing position out here, right in front of the grandstand at East Burwood. Oh, well, you almost
heard that, didn't you?
You certainly heard that from Paddock. Kicked Presti's leg by the sounds of it. Didn't break a bone, so that's always promising. Ball back in the arms of umpire Buckingham. Throws it up now. Haddock did well. Got the knockdown that time. Marr looping handball out wide. That was good. He's hard. Inside forward 50. It's all working out nicely. Erasmus takes it. He's wasting no time. Spears the pass in over the top of Calvin. It went straight through his mitts. He might not have been ready for it in the end. Now Templestowe out towards the wing position where Wilson almost pulled it in. He went after it again there, did Jesse. Pi's not going to ping him for that. Good second effort, kept the ball alive on the wing position.
But have a look, BWS, how many players were around Jesse Wilson there? 3.
Pi throws it up. In there was Whiteman, as was Jackson. Will the ball stay alive? Eventually kicked over by Brad Carroll. And we've got a boundary throw in, and the margin out here is 22 points. 25 minutes gone in this third term. Does anyone have a yelp to kick a score? For the remainder of the quarter comes out Jackson, Templestowe, or maybe they have a chance up towards the half-forward line. It's knocked away. What a mark that was there by Gully. A1 Airport mark of the day. He had to have 3 bites of it, reach over and rip it in with the one hand. Fantastic mark there by Gully as he brings the ball out of defence.
And he got to strangle Williams all at once. It was beautiful play. And the kick went to the wing. At ground level, Bacaro picks it up. Hickleton just read it nicely. Got to front position, half forward. He's got a couple of options. The barrel. Will it hit the deck or not? No, defence holds up and Wadsworth grabs it, and he's just wanting to slow it down on the last line. He's hesitated on 2 kicks. Now he's going to dumping it in the pocket. And for Donis, he's going to short it. Finds Jackson on the bounce, has to take on the tackler, stands up and gets away from that tackler. There's a looping over the top hand pass on the wing. And Brown goes inboard. He's found Preston Giacomo all on his own. He'll drive it very long. Goal square it goes. The defence holds up as the marker falls over for Templestowe and rushed behind. Upper Ferntree Gully a 9-4-58. Templestowe a 5-7-37. It's 21-point margin.
Wasting no time either. Kick comes in. Wilson, the King variety, takes the mark. Screaming for players to present. Thumping kick up towards the wing position. Calvert was there. Fly over the back there by Athanasiou, but Upper Ferntree Gully have the numbers at the fall of the ball. The kick goes up towards the direction of Erasmus. He's also got an opponent there in Fedonis. And what a classy finish it was as well. They are going to take some stopping in this Division 3 grand final. There's no doubt about that. A 27-point margin as we cross the 28-minute mark.
Not a bad effort from a guy that Gus wrote off at the pre-game, was it? Said he was finishing today. He'll play forever, Hickleton, the way he's going today.
He reminded me of Life of Brian. He's not the Messiah. He's a naughty boy. That was just too clever by half. He just put it on the boot and he dribbled it from 40.
Those goals are absolute heartbreakers in grand finals like this.
Grant Campbell, thanks to Choose Tap Match Stats.
It's Jackson who gets it out of the middle as Templestowe need an answer before 3/4 time. And Upper Ferntree Gully always up for the challenge. Hold off Templestowe's charge inside 50, the 28-minute mark.
Soupy.
The thing that hurt about that goal was the fact that they brought it from the other end.
Soupy.
Eddie Betts would have been proud with that one. Inside 50's 16 apiece for the quarter now.
So it's a ball up with just so much excitement in the one kick. We could relive that 5 times and be satisfied.
But Gabbett was in the perfect position right in front of us to see it all.
As Ward, just uncontested. Have Templestowe got something in them? They're within. If they're good enough, they've still got a contest. But can they just muscle their way through this big pack? And Upper Gully are up for it. Carroll tackles it. Harris to the ground, and that is the siren. It's a big task for Templestowe, but Upper Ferntree Gully undefeated all year. 10-4-64, 27-point lead of 3/4 time. Templestowe 5-7-37.
Tate Hickleton has 4 majors for Upper Ferntree Gully. 3 of them as absolute cracking goals. 2 goals each to Whiteman and Brad Carroll, while Simon Harris for Templestowe, he has 2 majors. 27 points is the margin out here. 10-4-64 Upper Ferntree Gully to Templestowe 5-7-37. There's only 30 minutes of football left in Division 3 for the year. Will the Kings go on their merry way, or will the Dockers come back from the death? We'll find out after these messages. Stay tuned for the big 4th quarter.
Hey, man. I've got some weekend goals. Like what? First, wake up around lunchtime. Oh, yeah. Second, go into Pancake Parlour and get one of their traditional breakfasts because it's served till 5 p.m. every day. You gotta go to Pancake Parlour for your weekend goals. Yeah, what else? And then when I'm all full, like in your belly, just sit on the couch and watch me team kick some winning goals. Bang, goal! Oh, Pancake Parlour's weekend goals. Up and about and lovely.
Program sponsor.
How would you like to be celebrated?
I could put together a really cool playlist.
Frank Sinatra.
Elton John.
Beethoven. John Lennon.
Boy bands.
A lot of 90s.
I'd certainly not be opposed to people dancing.
Finger food.
Party pies.
Homemade pickles. I'd like some cakes. They will be very bread.
Twinks.
I have a thing for pink lemonade.
And lots of coffee.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, they know that every life is unique and they think that every celebration should be too. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Program sponsor. Chiropedic Mattress Factory Direct. It's the Aussie family company that's been manufacturing mattresses in Melbourne since 1991. They offer a huge range and selected mattresses come with everyday deals like free delivery, old mattress removal, 30-day comfort guarantee and up to 20 years warranty. Buy direct from the factory and never pay retail prices again. Chiropedic Mattress Factory Direct. Locations all around Melbourne and country Victoria. Or shop online 24/7 for mattresses, bases, beds, pillows and custom-sized mattresses at chiropedic.net.au. Program sponsor.
Nothing better than a companion to keep you up to date with all the latest when you're at the footy. Better still, one that fits in your back pocket. The Eastern Footballer is a must-read. All the latest information, team lists, feature articles and much, much more. Pick up your copy this weekend as you love it local across the Eastern Football League. Never miss out on the latest information on the Eastern Football League through the league's social media channels. Live updates, information and scores through the league's Twitter account. EFL.org.au is the place to be online for all the latest on the Eastern Football League. Keep up to date by checking out the latest news and feature articles. Have your say in the EFL poll. Check out all the latest EFL videos and best of all, you can listen back to any EFL radio program at any time. Head to efl.org.au. The Eastern Football League. Local footy at its best.
Dave and his mates are flying to the Gold Coast to watch their team play the Suns. Do they B, pay too much for a taxi, C, hope for an airport rail link this century, or D, get a lift from a mate and hope for the best when they fly home?
What about A for A1 Airport Parking?
At A1 Airport Parking, get 2 days for $25, 3 days for $34, or get 7 days parking for just $69. And at just 5 minutes from the airport, they'll get you there in time for your flight and pick you up when you get home. Show your footy or sporting club membership anytime you park and get 10% off. A1airportparking.com.au.
Program sponsor.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Welcome back to East Burwood Reserve for the Division 3 Grand Final. Upper Ferntree Gully leading this one at three-quarter time, 10-4-64, Templestowe 5-7-37. And if you love your footy, this game has got highlights plus, and Hickleton is the real. He is the highlights reel. He's fantastic, but he's got some co-stars. Whiteman just flashes through, and he just sharks handballs and courageous marks. So they've got a few guys up for best on ground. But before we maybe talk about Upper Ferntree Gully, can Templestowe make up the 27-point margin?
I don't think they can. One of the main reasons is that they're 2 men down on the bench. We'll go down boundary side.
Yeah, boys, got Chad Rogers with me, mate. Pressure and relentless attack has been so supreme today. You must be extremely proud so far how that's been.
Yeah, the first three quarters, our pressure and tackling pressure and ability to turn the ball over has been great, and then being able to hurt him on the scoreboard when we've had the opportunity. Big message from yourself and a lot of the coaching staff was that nothing changes. You really want to finish this game out and lock Templestowe to as few goals as possible. Yeah, that's right. It's about run. Hopefully this week off's done the right thing for us now. We can have that really aggressive running over the top. But we've got to defend first and then attack when we get the opportunity at the scoreboard when we need to. Thanks, Chad. Cheers. Thanks, boys.
Chad Rogers, coach of Upper Ferntree Gully, very content. Good work by Josh Dorr. But Rick Irwin, we've spoken to him on EFL Sunday. He can talk, and he's talking, and he's talking. They're still in their huddle, but let's get some stats for Chewstat.
In that third quarter, Templestowe won the clearances 13-11, but it was Upper Gully winning the contested possessions 41-33. The uncontested possessions 36-28. Inside 50s 16 apiece. And good tackling pressure by Upper Gully all day. 19 to 18 tackles that quarter. A little down in the first two quarters when they had 49 in the first half, which is probably right up there in terms of highest totals we've seen this year in the local footy.
Well, so just as Templestowe, well, the players are still in the huddle. Actually, the supporters have heard enough. They're hitting the boundary, so we're still a minute away. But what is Rick Irwin talking about? Because he hasn't finished.
I think the main thing he'd be talking about is win the quarter. Win the quarter, and we put ourselves in a chance of winning the game. But look, it's going to be hard. As I said, 2 men down on the boundary. Their midfield, to me, has been absolutely outclassed today by Upper Ferntree Gully. And when Templestowe do get the ball forward on a mark or free kick, they're too hesitant, and gives Upper Gully time to read what's going to happen.
Yeah, look, I just think, Gav, that Templestowe basically went for broke in that third quarter, gave it everything. I don't reckon there's anything left, mate. Maybe they're going to play for pride, but I expect Upper Gully now to seize the moment and put the game beyond doubt in the opening 10 minutes of this last quarter.
Grant, you said it. We're off the mic. It was the best comment. When Hickleton's ball rolled in,
boundary.
You said, how can you beat the team that gets goals like that?
Let's cross down boundary side to Gus McLeod, thanks to chiropractic betting.
Boys, once again, Rick Irwin had a lot to say. The main message was, do you want to win this grand final? Do you want to step up? And he said one thing that stuck with me, and he goes, if you don't play our game plan, if you don't play Templestowe footy, this day will haunt you for the rest of your life. So the message from Rick Irwin was to step up, play the game plan and play your role.
Great stuff there, Gus McLeod. The margin out here is 27 points. Templestowe, they came running in that third term midway, but Upper Ferntree Gully, they have had the answers all day. Umpire Warren Hillier just waiting for the last players to find possession. Everybody is off the ground now. The final 30 minutes of the Division 3 season for 2016 is about to get underway, and here is Gavin Casey.
Thank you to BWS. Big quarter, Templestowe season of course is on the line, but Upper Ferntree Gully don't take for granted. They haven't lost all year, and they're coming in with big tackles straight off the siren. The big tackle turnover means Upper Gully go into the forward line. The bounce of the ball doesn't fall for Baccaro, but he tackles, and they're doing the 1%ers. If they can't get it, they come in hard after their opponent. And, you know, brushed off there was Williams. He was hurt in that tackle. Half forward it is, out of bounds. Boundary throw in. Haddock works his way to the front, knocks it down to Grice. Grice got some good tempo going, but he's handed off to Harris. So Harris for Templestowe kicks it to half forward. It's bobbling around with Bain, who we haven't seen much of him. And let's go boundary side for another comment.
Yeah, boys, just another injury update. Tapscott for Upper Ferntree Gully. Don't think you'll see him. His day's done as well with that knee injury.
Thanks to Josh Dorr through chiropractic betting, came down. Here's Whiteman, who's had an absolutely sensational game, Ray Baird.
He has been absolutely magnificent, the little man. You're dead right. But just on Timmy, to win this game, they've got to kick 5 goals. They've only kicked 5 in 3 quarters. Won't happen.
Early ride-off. Comes down Risley. His arm was pinged by Mariani. 2 Warriors of Division 3.
Gives me one reason why I hope Templestowe win. So he can throw it back at his face.
Haddock knocked it down. Marr was there to trap it. Did really well there, Marr, but he might get pinged there. Nagel had a good tackle on him.
He's had a really good game today, Marl. Really liked his game.
Totally agree, Brash. Comes out. Bain. Skipper wanting to really get into this game. Silver. Sorry, it wasn't Silver. It was Lachlan who copped one for his troubles.
And he's another player, BWS, and hasn't done too much wrong either. Every time he's had the ball, he's done something with it.
Yeah, clean skills, absolutely. Inside forward, 50, looking for Calvert over the back of him. Marr came charging through at the back. Athanasio keeps the ball alive. Jackson, always a valuable servant for Templestowe. He's had a good game. Got it away to Harris. Looping handball, it was dangerous out wide. Fadonis was there, crunched in a tackle there by Lachlan, and eventually the ball trickles over the boundary line and out of bounds in front of the Upper Ferntree Gully faithful, who are loving every minute of this one. Hearts in mouth situation throughout these first 10 minutes or so. Comes out Risley at the bottom of the pack with Mariani. It's not uncommon. The Spider arrives in the commentary box by Hugh Tevelin. Restarts play again. Knocked down. Grice gave the don't argue, then dropped the pill. Could have almost been pinged there. Good tackle by Caden Williams. Umpire said okay.
He probably should have been penalised. BWS, he's trying to take the player on.
So umpire Tevelin throws it up again. Harris knocked down straight into the arms of Grice. This is a good kick to the top of the goal square, where it's been picked up by Athanasio. Got dispossessed of the football, snap around the body there by Baccaro. No! He's pushed it to the right-hand side. It curled, but it didn't come back far enough. Minor score as a result. That's the first for the final term. 28-point lead to Upper Ferntree Gully, with Alex Brown to bring the ball back into play.
And he's going to go near side the broadcast, and it's a 1v3. It's not a great kick, and it's been chopped off, and they're running through Lachlan. Time to line it up and put it through. No, he just drifts it left, has heckled and marked it before the boundary. No. Minor score. And that kick out, he might have saw the guy out in the open, but he didn't realise there's 3 guys sweating from Upper Ferntree Gully on the one Templestowe player. So this time the kick out does find his teammate. And Brown, another short. Mariani trying to work his way into the contest, just throws a hand pass forward. And in the heat of the contest now, it's Jackson at centre back, looping hand pass to no one. It's eventually chopped off. Prestigiacomo puts his body on top of it. Now that's been chopped off by Wakefield, he gets taken down. Templestowe might work it out of this pack, and the spearing pass doesn't get to Wilson as he liked, and he just has to be, he's trying to walk his way forward, but the tackle takes him with him. And it was pretty funny because...
Had he carried him like a baby then?
He did. So eventually the ball did go forward for Templestowe, but it was a bit of a muddled play, and it's out of bounds on the outer side. Just in front of our scoreboard, 10-6-66, plays 5-7-37, thanks to Bendio Bank. The flying kick out of the pack just dribbles further down the ground, and Lachlan won't keep it in. He's got no time for that.
Boundary.
It's crossed down boundary side, thanks to chiropractic betting. Here's Josh Daw.
Yeah, boys, Tate Hickleton just crawled over the boundary line. A bit of severe cramping, I think, on his left side. He's had a superb game, hasn't given up at all.
Yeah, saw him stick his hand up in that last forward movement. Comes out Soriano, look away, handle to Mariani. He's always good. He got it away to Bain on the left boot. Squeezed to kick backwards here. Athanasiou just got crunched in the tackle, and now Grice can go off to the races. Little handball back. They'll work themselves in the middle of the ground because Whiteman might be able to run onto this. Dan Jackson was there, as was Ma for Upper. He hits the deck. Jackson on top of him, right in the middle of Eastfield Reserve.
Brash, the man on the bottom is your man, Tommy Ma, but he was also the man that when you said, what a tackle.
Amazing.
So umpire throws it up again. Harris knocked it down. Risley was there. He's had a good game also. Handball out wide. It was picked up by Fedonis. Goes back to Mariani. Quickly met as always. Risley dives over the football again and will have a bounce.
Upper Gully are playing like men possessed here. They are playing like the hunted, not being the hunter.
By Buckingham to restart play. Harrison had it, came out. Jackson got dispossessed. Mariani in there, flicked it out wide. Here's Wilson, got the handball to Harris, who looped one over to Soriano. Had a bit of space there. Kicks the ball inside forward 50, but getting back and was Silva. It takes a strong mark, and he'll wind around on the left and kick it out of that danger zone. Finds Godfrey on the stretch. So we've gone 6 minutes here in the final term. We'll take 5 goals for Templestowe to win without Upper Ferntree Gully kicking a score. Harris has gone down with an injury off the play as the kick was smothered and goes over the boundary line and out of bounds. Out of bounds on the full maybe? Or what was the free kick for, Brash?
I think it was a high tackle BWS.
Nice guess.
He
So it
doesn't
comes
know
in
where
now. Short passes on Mariani.
Out in the full.
Little handball. That was just a low percentage play there to Jackson. Mariani has to go after it again. And I'll tell you what, Risley and Mariani's missuses will be pretty upset. Those two have been cuddling for most of the afternoon as it comes out. Haddock took the ball and couldn't get rid of it in time, so he's been pinged. Mariani on the right boot finds Soriano. He's had a few touches, especially in this second half, Soriano. We know he's got neat skills. This has to hit a target. Fiorenza's putting on a fair old lead here into the forward pocket. It was knocked away nicely from Galley at the fall. The ball in there was Melitsas. And once again, the Kings are managing to put that defensive pressure on inside the arc, holding the ball up. And umpire Hugh Tevelin has called time on as...
It was his own play there.
And your man, Lee Murphy, BWS, he copped a bit of friendly fire in that clash there.
Actually, it was Melitsas who got maybe the blood from the contest.
So umpire throws it up. Wadsworth versus Haddock, got the knockdown. Silver was there. Presti's got him wrapped up nicely. And we'll have a bounce 45 metres out from the Templestowe goals. They need one desperately, Gav.
Yeah, they do, but so many forced errors. You think the pressure's been too much for them, but they still try hard, and they jump on the ball this time. Might bobble out. It's just a pack on, stacks on, and it's going to come up. Mariani picked it up, but it was all over in terms of a contest. Ball up 45 metres out from their goals, going to the Burwood Highway end. Wadsworth couldn't use his body to get to good position, and again it's gone under all the Rovers. And it's another ball up 45 metres out. We've gone, this is good work by Upper Ferntree Gully. They've just killed 8 minutes of time with not much happening. They'll be happy with that. Prestigiacomo came over the top. It's roved by Jackson. Jackson puts it on the boot. What's the bounce like? Just misses to the right. And they need a goal, but it's a minor score that closes the gap to 28 points. Bendigo Bank scoreboard, 10-6-66 Upper Ferntree Gully, Templestowe 5-8-38.
Thumping kick from the stoppage right out towards the wing position. What a ripper mark that was from Gully. So Pat winds around now on his right boot up towards the half-forward line. It's all working out nicely. In the arms of Erasmus. Quick to get back and kick it inside forward 50. Reading the play well. Caden Williams though for the Dockers. Took it. Then on the left it was risky kick. Soriano's had a lot of touches. Links up with Mariani's. For the first time he hasn't had Risley right on his case there. Linking handball into the middle of the ground and into no man's land now. It'll be up to the Kings to mop up the spills. Across the half back line the kick goes out towards Whiteman who takes the mark. And he's just going to slow things down. Look for some options. He might even go back. He does. Lachlan, what a game he's had. Short passes on. Big man Ward kicked a cracking goal in that first term from the paint of 50, and a spearing pass finds Calvert. So still a few kicks away from goal here. The Kings kick towards the Hickleton direction. Over the back it goes. Carroll was the player there, but mopping up nicely with Athanasio. And now through Wilson, they'll get out of the back pocket here, Templestowe. Short passes on. Went for the 1-2. Athanasio just coughed it up in the end. Picaro, he just arched the back, looked further afield, little snap around the bodies. Might work out for Carroll. Got it to Risley. Got it to Hickleton. Swings around. He just can't miss that. He just can't miss that. 5 now for the big ball forward, and Upper Ferntree Gully, well, they're going to take some beating, aren't they? The Kings 11-6-72 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 4 to Templestowe 5-8-38.
Well, he just doesn't think. He puts it on the boot and he signals to the crowd, I've done it again. Any special comments?
Inside 50s this final quarter, 5-2 in favour of Upper Gully. Templestowe winning the contest well. Yeah, Upper Gully just home, really.
You shouldn't have sent them home. The special comments people, BWS.
It's like they're doing the crossword.
Ball goes into Templestowe forward line. They can't even get the pass to Fiorenza, but he's good enough to come again and takes on the tackle work.
I thought that was some of Ray's better work.
Giving us the silent treatment. Silva hands the ball as Soupy does some gold. Ward sharks it out of the ruck and kicks it as long as he can. And the man on the spot is Erasmus. He'll look further afield and he'll get to his teammate, Calvert. Late spoil, but the mark has been paid to the umpire at half-forward flank. So Calvert wheels onto the right, puts it into the pocket where he's got a teammate running onto it, and it's a bit of a possession now as Wakefield will look at the goals from the most acute angle at the arc, 50 metres. So to the goal square. Hickleton, he's in there, he's always dangerous, but the defence do well this time. And the spearing pass, they do get it out. And DeCarla, Orphodonis working nicely. Kick across ground, actually concedes a point from 30 metres in his own defence. The switch was that poor, it went through the sticks for a minor score.
Would you like us to do a special comment on that one?
That's right.
I think it says itself. It's 5-8-38 Templestowe, and they're scoring for Upper Ferntree Gully as well, 11-7-73.
Dan Jackson to bring the ball back in for the Dockers, goes out towards the Quinn direction, was the big fly. Lachlan in the front there, gave away a free kick. So for Donis, a little handball away. And mucking around with it a bit here, Mariani just copped one. I can't believe a whistle wasn't blown on that, but nonetheless the play goes forward. Wilson couldn't quite trap it. Through Melitza's hands it went.
Well
and
done.
Nicely done there by Darcy Wilson just to hold the football up.
4
We'll
Templestowe
have a bounce.
players around that, and Wilson was the only one that wanted it. Oh, we must say also the umpires have done a terrific job today, boys.
Yeah, they have. They've done a really good job.
Ray's just saying that because there's 30 sitting next to him as it comes in forward 50 now to Berenza, the big fly. Over the back there was Galley of the Liam variety, brought the ball to ground and will cross down boundary side thanks to chiropedic betting.
Yeah, a lot of sore bodies for Upper Ferntree Gully. Risley and Marr cramping up. They worked very hard today and can't wait for the final siren, that's for sure.
Pyer throws the ball up now. We're in agreement up here in the box. As a Prestigia Como swings around on the right boot, it's not going to get enough distance. Over the boundary line it goes. Brad Callagher has had a solid day down back, Brad Callagher.
And 2 pair of boots.
No doubt about that. Pyer bring the ball back in now. Big fly over the back there by Ward, kept alive. He's Godfrey, brought over the boundary line by Wilson.
I thought God was here and I was in the shock of my life.
So,
this is God.
No cleanliness in that, Gav.
Templestowe forward line.
This game's petered out, hasn't it?
15 minutes gone. Big thump there by Ward. Gained a valuable 20 metres and over the boundary line it goes once again.
I just think they've been worn down, Templestowe. They're just, the hard ball gets is all Upper Ferntree Gully, the body on the line, the Courage Acts. They're just memorable moments in this grand final.
Oh, it comes down here. Here's Nagel on the right boot, kicks it to the top of the square. Nothing is going right, but it's all happening for Silver. What a game he has had across the half-back line, Gav, as he kicks it out to the space of Hards.
Yeah, Hards has run onto it, but he's got a minder on him, and he's happy to see it over the line in front of the scoreboard. That's pretty reading.
So BWS, that mark by Silver, then you could say that it was gold.
Yeah, we tried one that earlier, if you were listening.
I don't listen to much of what you guys say.
Turn your hearing aid up, Ray.
So it's on the outer side. Templestowe hoping for one more attack. The scoreboard is 11-7-73 Upper Ferntree Gully. 35-point margin. Templestowe 5-8-38. And we're about 15 minutes away for Upper Ferntree Gully to celebrate their 20th victory. Oh, what a sweet one it will be for 2016. There's still some moments that you're going to see some magic, I reckon. Hickleton's revved up for the next contest. On the outer side, the ball's just bobbling around. Now it bounces to centre forward. A bad bounce for everyone except Ward, who just puts his body on the line. Charges at Mariano, who stands it up, gets to Wadsworth. He gets taken down to the tackle. He can't get through centre forward. Mariani goes again, hands it out to Fordonis. Fordonis works hard in the middle, but his kick is again chopped off by Silver. So it's just these men on half-back that stand up under pressure, and Silver and Godfrey.
Blood rule.
And a blood rule. Colbert is going off, who's had a serviceable role in that third term. I reckon he put his body on the line a few times, and it was a crucial moment. So I liked his game in the third term. He's been replaced by Marr. So Silver almost could get into votes if we had them. Silver from centre back, he just kicks it as long as he can and hopes Hickleton can mark it. He almost does everything at every ask, but it just comes off his hands, ground level, a lot of support, but it's Jackson, who's got an open full forward area to go to. It's the mummified Melitsis, I think. He kicks it as long as he can, and Melitsis, who's come off the blood rule, comes back and bursts through 50, and he spirals the ball through the middle of the goals. And maybe all too late, but it's 6-8-44, and they trail by 29 points as Upper Ferntree Gully 11-7-73.
Yeah, consolation goal there for JP Melitsis. coming through the midfield and dashing through that half-forward line, and lovely goal.
It's just opened up there, and Jackson through centre half back just found Malitzis, and he was all on his own.
So the ball back into the middle here. Consolation goal, perhaps for the Templestowe Football Club, but maybe they can pile on 4 quick ones. Funnier things have happened in football. Comes out now, Malitzis, the mummy. Got the little handball in the middle, nicely done by Whiteman. Got it away to Risley, who just starts the back, handball over the top. This might work out okay here for Carroll. Got the linking handball, gave it to Grice, gave it to Hilton, over the top of the square. It's as easy as that. Ryan Murray slams it home, and welcome to Division 2, the Upper Ferntree Gully Football Club.
Boy, what an answer. What an answer. That's the way to answer a goal late in a grand final. But, yeah.
Boundary.
Let's cross down boundary side, thanks to chiropractic betting.
Good call, boys. A lot of celebrations for the first time down here in the Upper Ferntree Gully bench. Coaches sharing a few hugs, players celebrating, and the fans, who many of whom have probably been here since the under-19s game at 9:30, are finally going to get a premiership for their efforts.
And they get the one that counts too, the big one.
Yep.
They all count.
Oh,
It just counts the most.
Counts the most. He's a stats man, isn't he?
They do count.
Yep, that's right.
It's on the sheet.
Pancake Parlour play of the day there, just the linking handballs from the middle of the ground. But just who do you give it to, really?
Unfortunately, it was a bit of the Waxworks Museum for Templestowe defence, though. They were all standing there with expressionless faces.
Yeah, it was like rabbits in the thing, Dad.
Oh, that's the call of the year from Wayne Brasher. Rabbits in the thing.
The thing will get you. Anyways, back in the middle.
Bit of a bunny.
You got to have a laugh if you've got to have a laugh.
I think that's the best call I've ever heard in 10 years.
As now back into the game, it's Whiteman, who would be pressing for top honours, gets taken high in the tackle, and from the middle of the ground, he's got time to just look afield and know that the job's been done, as BWS has lost it. Carroll gets a long kick down the track, and Hards has got it. From 50, loads up the long kick. Here's Hickleton! No, cuts the go the punch, and at ground level, the defence for Templestowe standing up this time. Jackson dances around one at half back, sweeping hand pass. Where do they go to next? It's a depressing side for Templestowe. Finally, Fiorenza gets onto the pack, knocks it to ground level, and Templestowe have still got it high up and under, but numbers 4v1, Upper Gully have got it, and it's the mark to Gully. This time it's Patrick, but his brother Liam has been superb as well.
Short passes on Carroll.
Carroll's been a very good player in this final quarter also.
Happy just to slow things down. 21 minutes almost gone here.
Love his boots, that silver blue. Nice.
Margin is a big one too, 35 points. Big fly by Brown, but mark's been taken. Umpire Warren Healy is just calling for a 25-metre penalty.
Gee, been a lot of them today.
Yeah, I don't know why Erasmus would be mouthing off. No need, is there?
That's right.
No.
So Quinn has it. Short passes on. Mariani takes it at the 50.
Hasn't stopped trying all day, Mariani.
Yeah, he's their best.
He's a freak. He kicks it in to Wadsworth. Almost pulled down the mark.
When you haven't played a lot of games like Alex Wadsworth, you really do get found out in grand finals because your touch is not there.
It's a good spoil by Callagher. Paddock. What a season he's had. Comes out, got the handball to Wilson from the gully, kicked it out. Nagel, being one of Templestowe's better players today. Nagel on the right boot, kicks it inside forward. 50, Marr almost chopped it off. Jackson was in there. So too Silva. Oh, just worked himself out of a phone booth, got the handball away. Wakefield, now they're going through looking to go through the middle of the ground, but there is BROWN Brown for Templestowe. So Alex kicks it towards Harris. Big fly by Calvert over the back, got the spoil, then got the kick inside forward 50, but nobody's home except Matty Bain for Templestowe. He'll switch the ball out wide. And now they'll get a chance through to Carla on the right boot. Kicks it in towards the middle where Hickleton's getting a nice little rub down. The ball scoots away from him. They've linked up in the middle here. It's for Donis from the paint to 50. Can he put a goal through for Donis? For Templestowe, he can't. And he pushes it to the right-hand side. Let's cross down boundary side. Thanks to chiropractic betting. We heard you, Gus.
Yeah, Tate Higgleton just got up. He was having a seat on the cricket pitch there. I think his day is absolutely done and dusted, but what a game it has been.
79 to 44. It's a 35-point margin, Gav.
The long kick out by Upper Gully, get it all the way the wing where it's some tied runners going for it. Fedonis got an escort in Williams there to help him out. Fedonis gets it back, slaps it onto the right boot. The bounce of the ball will suit Haddock, or he makes it suit himself, taps it to himself, tries to hand pass around the pack and get around them, but he won't do that on the wing, and it's going to be a ball up. Haddock tries hard. He's not the tallest ruckman getting around.
I reckon he'd like a wee dram or two, though.
Turning my mic off. You're that upset with me, BWS. Oh, I've lost it. You better take over if you're turning my mic off.
Try to throw the ball back in, right in front of our chiropractic betting boundary riders. Ward at the back, knocked it down. Prestige Como is there. Got a little toe poke on that one. I'm pretty sure he would just be happy to see. He just watched it and then got a little shove. It was actually really good play there by Brad Carroll, just give him that extra nudge at the last moment and force the ball to go onto his boot and over the boundary line and out of bounds. So
he's had a dirty day though, Chris.
Carroll has kicked 2 goals, sends it in, looking for Calvert, knocked away from him. So still about 40 metres out. Oh, well done there by Whiteman on the left boot, kicks it to the square, but well done by Wilson. He's had a good season for Templestowe. Kicks it out. Here's Prestige Como. Handball backwards. Looking for Fedonis. It was a good tackle by Picaro on him. And not making it easy at all, are they? Upper Ferntree Gully. They're finishing this game off in style. What a season it has been. The perfect season. It doesn't happen very often. And the Kings are going on their merry way here as a clearing kick from Templestowe. He's out of bounds on the full.
It's on the jumping castle. That's how wide he went.
Brad Carroll. They'd love another one. Comes in now, 2 kicks from home. He's going to thump it towards the Heckleton direction. Knocked away from him. Whiteman at the ball, step on goal. Curls it a little bit too much. 1 behind is the result. Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 25 minutes gone in the final 5 minutes or less. The season 2016, and it's a 35-point lead to Upper Ferntree Gully as Takala short passes on, but nobody's home. The Gully are just absolutely everywhere now. It's a kick to Heckleton, he takes the mark. He's about 40 metres out. He's got a difficult angle. He's kicked 5 goals for the afternoon, putting his hand right up for a chance to take home the Les Leedy medal, blue ribbon medal this afternoon. And the big forward comes in now. On the right boot. It's only right, it goes through. That is the icing of the cake for Take Heckleton and Upper Ferntree Gully. 6 big ones this afternoon. 13 on the board, and they are running towards Division 2 in 2017, the Kings. They're only going to be the 15th team to win a premiership in an undefeated season in the Eastern Football League's history, and what a season it has been as well. Heckleton looks like he might have dislocated his shoulder perhaps there.
Yeah, that was in the celebrations.
Get that back in play. It doesn't look like it's his drinking arm, so I think he might be okay. Ball back in the middle.
He's done that well. They'll hold the drink for him. But here's Mariani bursting out of the centre, goes long as he can. 1-on-1. Fiorenza over the top, brings it to ground where Soriano's there. But it's not a great day for him either in terms of getting on the scoreboard. And the tackle, it's a holding the ball free kick against Wilson. He couldn't break free, and he was held up nicely by Malitzis, who kicked a lovely goal early in the quarter. The mummified Malitzis from the right pocket, puts it on the right, bends it too far, minus score. Templestowe 6-10-46, it's a 40-point margin. Upper Gully a 13-8-86 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
So it'll be Callagher. The ever-reliable Brad Callagher thumps the ball out of defence and straight into the arms though. Williams for Templestowe inside forward 50. He goes. Soriano dropped what he probably should have taken. Charging through though was Fedonis. He's brought to ground in a strong tackle. can't be too much longer left in this game.
26 tackles in the final quarter by Upper Gully, so the intensity's just been there for all 4 quarters.
Need a Hickleton update from the boys on the boundary, I reckon.
Hugh Tevelin throws the ball up now. Godfrey goes after it, dived on the football, goes after it again. Nagle was on his hammer. Prestigiacomo showing out some frustrations. Sees him over the boundary line and out of bounds, and a little bit too crudely. So umpire Televen just paying the free kick to Upper Ferntree Gully.
Good day by the umpires, you reckon, BWS?
The umpires right throughout the season, let alone the final series, have been great, but not as great as Upper Ferntree Gully. They are premiers for season 2016 in a perfect season for them. What a performance it was today in the big dance. They came into the final series on top of the table. They won their first final. They only played 1 game in a month, and today they came out and steamrolled the Templestowe Football Club. Bendigo back scoreboard, final score for Division 3 2016, 13-8-86. 40-point win over Templestowe, 16-46. Gus McLeod, chiropractic betting boundary rider.
Boys, you're the successful Premiership coach, Chad. Mate, you've done it. Perfect season, completed with a perfect grand final win.
Look, I'm a bit lost for words. I'm just so wrapped with how the boys played today.
Walk with him, Gus.
Unbelievable.
You played a 4-quarter brand of footy, mate, consistent footy. I think that's been the message and the brand that Upper Gully have played all season, and it was really good you saw you guys play that game in the grand final.
Yeah, look, we knew that was just juice it for 4 quarters, but today, you know, it was great to see him bring that effort and just produce, you know, time to shine, we said. That was our motto, time to shine.
And obviously your 19s and reserves went down, but finally a grand final win, and the Upper Gully Football Club are going to Division 2 in 2017.
Yeah, look, can't wait for it to happen, and these guys really deserve everything they've done. It's been fantastic.
Go in there, mate. Congratulations, Chad.
Great stuff, Gus McLeod getting the very quick interview from Chad Rogers. He looks quite emotional there. You can see Rick Irwin and the Templestowe assistant coaches in Ryan Bain go over and congratulate him there. As he'll be a very proud man, a very proud football club, and the best football's coming out of the Upper Ferntree Gully and Ferntree Gully area, Ray Baird, this year.
Yeah, and I was behind them all the way too.
Yeah, of course you were.
No, look, they've been fantastic, both those clubs, you know. But no, look, Upper Gully, after Ferntree Gully won their premiership, it was an added little bit of pressure on Upper Gully, which they managed everything. They were terrific.
Yeah, just a great time for the Ferntree Gully area. What a season for both clubs. And in fact, saluted in the grand finals so far in 2016.
And 94 tackles they laid today, Upper Gully. I'm sure that's the most any side has done this year in the games we've covered, at least.
Well, we did.
Excellent.
We did say, granted, this, you know, like yesterday, the tackling pressure was going to be one of the key platforms of a victory this afternoon, and yet again, it's proven that if you can lay tackles and make them stick, you're going to win the game of footy.
Yeah, fantastic day. Templestowe might have, had a few players underdone, but Templestowe, Upper Ferntree Gully, never let them have an easy time around the ball. They smashed them around every pack.
Gav, really, in essence, they probably played 1 game too many, Templestowe. They really needed to win that second semi-final to get the week off, because they were already running on empty after 2 hard performances. In the opening week, as well as that particular game. They couldn't get over the line, and once again they were pushed right to the limit last week by Ringwood, and I reckon it's taken its toll today, especially in that second quarter. That's when the game really was busted open.
Have we got the stats ready for the full game? Yeah, well, let's do the 4th quarter and then maybe an overview with your choose stats.
I'll just do the whole game rather than the last quarter. And surprisingly, you might think Templestowe actually did pretty well on the stat sheet, at least, because they had 163 kicks to 162, 104 handballs to 70. Templestowe won the contested possessions by 20 and uncontested by 15, and even the inside 50s, 52 to 47. Upper Gully, though, took 10 marks inside 50 to 6. I mentioned the tackle count, 94 to 82 in favour of Upper Gully, and really the difference between the sides was just the amount of pressure Upper Gully put on throughout the game. 94 tackles, but how many times did they at least put some sort of pressure on the Templestowe players? They didn't get an easy disposal for the whole game.
Out of those 94 tackles, boys, 90 of them would have been effective too. That was a big...
No, that only take effective tackles,
okay.
so
All right. But that's a terrific effort.
Yeah.
94, that's phenomenal. And look, their midfield just worked so hard. I thought before the start of the game that their midfield was going to outdo Templestowe's midfield, and it turned out that way.
Yeah, they had many winners, and across half-back, I think they might go unsung in terms of the awards, but they'll be acknowledged as dominating.
Adrian Tapscott was absolutely magnificent down there for 3 quarters until he went off there.
And then when Tapscott dropped influence, Ryan Silver picked up the slack, Ray, and he just took the game to a new level when Tapscott went off the ground, and he marked everything in sight, Gav.
And Godfrey also.
Yeah. The thing that Templestowe couldn't do was hit up a target under pressure, and from half-back, Upper Ferntree Gully, they got pace through the midfield, through quick hands, but their composure under the heat from the back line was something to behold. It was a class above today, and it's proven to be the difference, just their ability to connect and get the transition going. And they might not get in the top 3 votes for the players because there's clearly some spectacular efforts done today. But those guys you mentioned, like the Gullies, they just mop up everything, and it's hard to get beyond them, and they just dominate. Haddock in the ruck, just a solid performer.
Yeah, there was no airs or graces about his performance. He just got the job done, Gav.
And there were some of their lesser likes, the likes of Ryan Murray and Corey Wakefield, the younger type players, the smaller body type players. They were terrific.
Darcy Wilson.
Darcy Wilson's another one. That's right.
Had a good game. You could keep naming the players. Like we go through, they had winners on every line, and if you go through 22 on 22, I'm only putting Matt Mariani potentially above one Upper Ferntree Gully player. One guy that can put his hand up to say he won his battle, maybe it was Mariani.
But he didn't have the effectiveness of what the Mariani style of play is that they get the ball, they keep low, and they burst through the opposition. But today, the Upper Gully players were standing back a little bit. They were waiting for that, and they didn't break any tackle, didn't get through at all. The Mariani.
What was the inside 50s again before we talk about?
It was 52-47 in favour of Templestowe.
That's surprising.
Probably the other player I think for Templestowe, Jackson, I thought was pretty solid for all 4 quarters.
He was good effort. But I thought Bain didn't contribute.
No, didn't do much at all.
Didn't notice him.
No.
And Teleski just wasn't served well, but was no presence at all. So.
And Lee Murphy, a big recruit they brought in, he wasn't effective today either.
Yeah, it just seemed all a bit too hard for them around the edges of the pack, and they were completely dominated for 4 quarters. And before, we're still warming up we're waiting on Dyson Baker to get things going, and they're still celebrating the Upper Ferntree Gully team. And we're just about to get presentations underway. If we have time, we might get some awards done. We'll discuss some of the awards. Chiropedic goal of the day. Which of the Hickleton goals do we give it to?
It's good.
I thought the goal actually of Geordie Whiteman, the one where he snatched the hand pass and ran into it, that was a very good goal. But
let's go to the middle of East Bellwood Reserve for the presentations. We're not getting it, Brucey? No, so we're going to have to talk over a bit, but we'll announce the best on ground. Wait on Dyson Baker to announce it. My imagination is that the man who walked off with was it a shoulder or he celebrated too hard? But
I think that was his last game, I think.
So Tate Hickleton, kicking 6 goals, has been named the player of the day. He's won the Les Leety medal for best on ground. And he's very ginger. He's got his left shoulder is about a half a foot lower than his right shoulder. And it's not going to affect his celebrating, but his handshaking will be confined to leaning in and with his right hand as he holds up the trophy in I suppose it's in a framed medal. And now they'll go through the presentation through the numbers. We might be able to give a pen pick to each player as they go through.
I think, Gav, the one thing I was hoping for that to see the local Ferntree Gully derby revived. Unfortunately, that's going to have to wait for another year. Liam Galley, fantastic game.
Very good game down back there. Very good. Very serviceable game.
Yeah, rarely gets beaten. Next one up is Tom Maher.
I reckon he had a terrific game. Played the perfect followers game this afternoon.
He was in my top 3.
Yeah, and mine as well.
A 19-year-old as well, so he's got a great future. Next is Brad Carroll.
Great servant of the club. I believe this is his last game today. I believe he's retiring.
The 30-year-old kicked 2 goals today. Dean Grice, 29. How many medals has he already got in the trophy cabinet? And he's come to Upper Ferntree Gully to win a premiership. Good on him.
He didn't do a lot, but he did what he had to do.
Patrick Gully is also another fantastic defender who is great in those marking contests.
The Gully boys, just Upper Ferntree Gully juniors, have come through and they've repaid the faith.
This is a man who could have been pushing for best on ground at half-time.
He was fantastic down back at Adrian Tapscott.
The skipper won't get mentioned now, so it's Bryce Hards, and his dad's the president.
Another very good in and under midfielder, which they
very
had today.
serviceable game, especially early on when the ball was hot.
Yeah.
In terms of voting, he might have got close to best on ground was Geordie Whiteman.
Oh, he was sensational.
He was absolutely fantastic.
Great courage acts with marks and great goals. Next up, Brad Kelleher moved clubs to win a premiership.
He's the journeyman, but still knows how to win a premiership and pick the right club, I'll tell you.
Yeah, he was so good at Croydon for many years. Number 20 will be next, Andrew Godfrey.
Serviceable along that half-back line with Ryan Murray, especially in the second half.
21, Ryan Silver. They're almost like a package.
They were. When Tapscott went off injured, as we said, this guy really stepped up to the plate.
After him will be Ben Haddock. He's 24. He's got the big red beard. He stands out just because he uses his body well.
He did a lot of the ruck work in the last quarter when the other guys were a bit tired, but no, he's very strong, very strong.
Just keep him away from a mic.
24 will be Luffman. He, for me, got in my votes.
He was good. He was good. I don't reckon he wasted a possession. He just did everything right when he had the ball.
Yeah, he's got composure. Next in the line is Jake Calvert. I said his third quarter was serviceable. He got involved.
Yeah, probably didn't have the influence that a centre-half forward on this ground could have, but he can get easily lost.
What about another big man, Daniel Erasmus? He doesn't do a lot, but he gets involved.
Well, he only played one game. This is the one that I think they took the punt on.
At certain times of that game, he presented up forward and gave him an option.
Yeah. He's only 21. Now Ben Ward, the man who's a bit of a relief ruckman. He doesn't have the height, but geez, he gets in and gets involved.
Yeah, really tough game. He pulled all the stops out this afternoon. You can tell he's pretty spent.
The man who's going to collect his second medal. And he's going to get a lot of cheers because for highlights and for... This is what spectators come to watch footy.
He's provided that many highlights for this football club. If he actually happened to retire today, it would be a fitting end to a magnificent career.
And a 21-year-old, great foil usually this year. Ryan Murray's been a great forward this year.
Yeah, he was good today.
This kid's a superstar on the horizon.
And the next one might be just a superstar to think of is Baccaro.
Yeah.
Could have played in the under-19 grand final, but he did some nice things today in the second half.
Great to see 18-year-olds playing grand finals, especially senior ones.
Yeah.
Here's another one, Wakefield, only 18.
Yeah.
I tell you what, though, you wear number 90 on your back, you've got to have to play.
I want to be asking for a jumper number promotion next year.
Well, here's number 91. They might want to keep it, make it their own. And it's Darcy Wilson. I liked his game. He does the shoelace tie around the hair, so he's noticeable. And that is the line-up, and we're waiting for the coach to come up for all the coaching staff. They'll go through a few people. They've got how many medals do you guys know? There's about nearly 30 medals they give out.
Oh, you can pay for more if you want to. I've got to doff my hat to Chad Rogers. What a magnificent effort. He's been a great coach, not only this year, but...
And Brash, he's been backed up by this man, Andy Heyman. He is Upper Ferntree Gully through and through, and it's great that he's got another premiership.
Yeah.
So the coaching, I'll just run through the coaching deck. You've got Chad Rogers, coach, assistant coach Andrew Gibson, the trainers Miranda Morrison, and the runners Daniel Bayer. The team manager is Mick Frawley. All of those are vital for every day of the week.
That's right.
it.
So we're just about to... Let's go through before the medals. Do we have Mark of the Day?
It's got to be Geordie Whiteman.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Has
I
to
thought
be.
so too. That was a very courageous mark down there on the.
Because
on
he
the
was
halfback.
entitled to be cleaned up.
That was for the A1 airport
There's
parking
their
mark of the
captain
day.
too, Gav,
And
Tim
Risley.
Risley.
Oh, there's Tim Risley. What do you reckon of his game? He's had
Well,
better days, but he's led from the front.
Wayne Brasher's 51st player in the Eastern
Oh,
Football
yeah.
League.
And put it this way, I've been made to pay for
I know.
that for many a year, but I'm happy about
Put him
that.
in there now, do you, Brash?
Oh, I would now. I'd have to push him up a bit
Can
more.
we try for effects on Chad Rogers? It won't work. It looks like it won't work.
We'll talk to Chad in a minute, no doubt.
I just think though, when you look at Tim Risley, he's a class player. He's won the league medal, so you know you can't do much more than that, Ray. And he's been an absolute jet for the Upper Ferntree Gully Football Club for so many years, and he's still got, I reckon, a lot left in him though.
Oh, he's still got heaps left in him.
Chad Rogers, it's only a few years back he was still playing footy.
He coached Montrose Reserves
Yes,
to
he did.
won maybe 2 flags and came across here 3 years ago.
So he's creating a bit of super coach vibe.
Well, I mean, when you take Chad Rogers on, I mean, you're taking the package because his brother also coached the reserves as well, Gav.
Yeah.
So, I mean, look. And that means he brings coaches and all his own people in, and he's had success, and that's what they're doing right now.
You'll see on the live stream, there is the jubilant Upper Ferntree Gully. The Kings celebrate the Premiership in 2016. From Division 3, they went undefeated. They'll go in Division 2. Can they just keep the momentum rolling? That's something to think about next year, because the moment is there. The players put on the dais, they're celebrating, and the photo's being taken.
And I would dare say there'll probably be some mates at the Ferntree Gully Football Club as well that are, I know that's a pretty close-knit community. It wouldn't surprise me if a few of the Ferntree Gully boys up there, they'll be there together tonight and having a drink.
Let's look at the vanquished as they walk off. It's Templestowe. They've spent a bit of money in terms of local football to try to get out of Division 3. They've recruited, they've spent money on, staff. They've got stars. They probably in any other year would be good enough to walk through this division.
What you got to remember about them is they were severely hit by injuries in the middle of the season, and that really set them back.
Yeah, and once again, it just, like I said, they've just played that one game too many.
Yeah.
I think it's, look, it's so hard. We saw it with the Basin. Only special sides can come from the depths of the ladder, the finals ladder to win flags.
And I think just a bit of bad luck that Daniel Pearce, coming from AFL circles in the Bulldogs, has wanted to join the fire services, and you can't train for a fire service job and risk your body. And he would have been a big player today. And it's just Anthony Mariani limping into the game. And we've got an interview. Gus McLeod's down there for chiropractic betting.
Here's the song, boys.
That was the 2-minute version of the 5-minute Melbourne theme song.
Well, you don't often hear it in AFL circles, that song, but in local surrounds, it's very well used.
I know.
Some use different colours, but when it's the red and the blue, your heart bleeds true.
That's right.
And I'm actually pumping in a joy for them, actually, because when you surround yourself with winners, even as a neutral, it's actually very uplifting to see people happy. And they've only won. They won every game, but they only beat Templestowe by 1 point twice.
Yeah.
And they really put to bed that they weren't the worthy premiers today on the main day. They cleaned them up. They were too good.
Yeah, you're right. And I mean, look, like I said, we talk about the Ferntree Gully area. Nick Wakeling, the local MP, would be absolutely stoked to see this happen in his electorate today. But you look at the two Ferntree Gully combines; they've lost one game this year.
Ben, we'll get an interview. Gus McLeod working hard. Good on you, mate.
Boys, we've got Geordie Whiteman with you, mate. What's going on right now? What a great feeling.
Oh, mate, it's bloody surreal. Didn't think we'd ever get to this spot. It's just, I don't know.
Obviously, Templestowe had a tough rush with you guys last week or week before, 1 point. Did you think it was going to be such a whitewash like this today?
Nah, they've been a good side all year, and we knew they were going to come hard today and throughout the season, and credit to them. They deserve to be here, so, yeah.
Mate, you just kept running all day. You came off with a little bit of a knee injury, but just kept bullocking all 4 quarters. It's a remarkable performance, one of your strengths, and you must be pretty proud individually with your performance as well.
Yeah, look, I'm proud of me performance, but credit to the team. We stuck it out all day. The pressure was on us, being undefeated, going in, and yeah, it's the best game we've played all year, and just credit to the boys and the coaching staff.
And that midfield performance as well. You got some balls in that midfield that just drove all day, and they just didn't give up, and it's probably reminiscent of how the team's played all year.
Yeah, credit to the on-ballers. They had a tough role against Templestowe.
Just bring the, if you can move forward, guys, we're just chopping out every sec. But Geordie, it's Gavin upstairs. Congratulations on your game. You were close to getting the medal, I would suggest. But one of the parts, you can talk about goals, but the courage when you stood under a high ball and took the mark and got barreled over, I reckon that was your highlight.
Oh, yeah. Got to leave it all on the field. Go hard. That's really all I can say. I just love going in and getting smashed around, and that's footy, so...
Geordie, congratulations. I really felt in the second quarter your guys really upped the intensity and got to a nice lead at half time. Was there a feeling in the shed at half time that if you could come out and get on the scoreboard quickly in the third quarter that you could break Templestowe's spirit?
Yeah, we discussed that inside. We knew they were going to come hard, just like they did in the first final we played them. They came out in the last quarter and kicked 3 goals with the wind, and we knew we had to dig deep that quarter to try and secure us put us in a good position.
Geordie, and the other thing today, which has been a big plus for the Upper Ferntree Gully Football Club, is a lot of the youngsters making their senior grand final appearances. We counted at least 4 or 5 guys, under the age of 21, playing in their first grand final side and tasting success. It must be a great filler, especially for the older players in the group.
Yeah, look, we rely on our older players to step up and motivate us, but we've got a great crew coming in, the younger age. It's just fantastic. It's a great club to be around, and credit to those boys. They stood up and just get on.
Geordie, what has Chad Rogers, in your opinion, brought to the Upper Gully Football Club?
Don't really know how to explain that. I'm lost for words. He's brought love to. He's just brought everything. He's a magnificent bloke. And
does he communicate to you guys one-on-one at training and that sort of stuff?
Yeah, our whole coaching staff does. They just pull us aside every now and then and just tell us what we need to keep working on individually, and that's probably what's got us over the line and working as a team. So,
well, Geordie, congratulations. We'll leave you be. You got to enjoy the day. Go in the change rooms, and by the way, you got Mark of the Day award, so you can have a prize on us. So Geordie Whiteman there, what a player. It's an emotional day after the grand final. And
but look, he was terrific. The smallest player on the field, and he was in and under. Look, his courage, you cannot question his courage, and even his foot skills. Some of those passes that he slotted in there, he was an exceptional player.
How many votes did he get out of interest between us? I gave him my 2.
I gave him 3.
So did I.
Well, I gave him 2.
And I had
so did BWS.
And I had Hickleton for 2.
I was tossing up, and in the end of the day, I'll give away my votes. I went Hickleton because I was that excited by him. And I just thought Whiteman, you could give him best, but we've got another interview, so let's cross down to the chiropractic betting.
Here with one of the fantastic coaches in the Upper Ferntree Gully Football Club, Andrew Heyman. Andrew, at the final change, you had a bit of a crack at the boys. There was a bit of backslapping and a bit of celebrations. Told them to keep their head in it, and they pulled out a fantastic 4-quarter performance. You must be so proud.
Oh, definitely. That's. I think we may well have played our best game today. So I'm very, very proud. I was proud of him, Mike Gallagher. I was proud on Thursday night. We spoke about it, and the club were proud to get three teams in the grand final. We weren't. Obviously, we wanted to win. We weren't going to make it a real morgue tonight. whatever happened, because it's an enormous achievement and they're a quality side. So if they, you know, with 2 1-point wins, we knew we had to play really well. We did. We needed to be in front at half-time, I think, to be able to run over them, and we did that as well. So, yeah, very proud.
You kept that half-time buffer, but they came again in the third quarter. It definitely wasn't a blowout. There was obviously a bit of concern. The boys had to keep the pressure up, and as you said, the senior players really pushed through to just give that little bit of leverage heading into that third quarter time break.
Yeah, our leaders, you know, Risley, I would suggest, is just about the best player in this competition. I would suggest he might nearly be up there again next year. He's an enormous leader, and you bring in Kelleher and these outstanding leaders from other clubs and quality people, and Tapscott, and you know, we had a Lachlan, we had a plan to just keep going. Our discipline at times was questionable, but we got away with it. So yeah.
I know that there's a team of 22 and more today, but I want to touch on the back six and probably the guys that have rolled through that back six during the year. I heard in the three-quarter time huddle that this back six has not conceded more than 10 goals in the entire season. It's outstanding, really.
Yeah, Gibbo's, we brought Gibbo to the club for a reason. He wanted to, he's obviously a forwards player, but I said I'll do the forwards because I knew he'd bring something to that back line. It's a real disciplined back line. I think we've probably played, luckily, maybe no more than 10 players through there, and no one's kicked more than 10 goals, and that was Park Orchards, I think, when we had a bad day. You know, pretty good, pretty outstanding. Brad Kelleher, he's had 6 contested marks taken on him for the year. 6, and he didn't get in the team of the year. Which we'll go over if you want to talk about that. But
over to you, boys.
Andy, what I want to talk about, it's Gavin in commentary, that the Curry Jacks, Whiteman took a mark in the first term where he stood under it, and the littlest man took the mark. The strength around the ball, the hard bodies versus Templestowe, just they crumbled off you around the packs.
Well, I won't say crumbled, but
well, use the
it
strong
certainly
words.
was a... we knew that with the Mariani boys and Williams, Presti, that we had to match. And last time we got beaten in the ruck and Ben Haddock, we brought in Ben Ward, and I thought that they double-teamed Harris and Quinn, and really we won in that area. So we thought that was a crunch area, and we won, so that was great.
Andy, it's Brash here. One of the things, you've been involved at the junior club and also the senior club, and one of always the biggest strengths of the Upper Ferntree Gully Football Club is the young blokes between 18 and 23. And once again, you had half a dozen of them, and they've come into the side this year and proved their worth, and they've been part of another successful Upper Ferntree Gully campaign.
Well, you know, the league's put a plan in place that we brought in 5 years ago, Brash.
Yeah.
If you don't have juniors, you're no good.
That's right.
I mean, I don't understand why it's taken them so long. I mean, the point system and the money, the cap, it's a great idea. Our average points was 31.
Yeah.
You know, you look on the list where we sit in 31 points. We're going okay.
Ray here, Andy. Look, congratulations,
Thanks,
mate.
Ray.
Look, I spoke to you in round 17 out at Warrandyte, you and Chad, about your battles with Templestowe, and I just got on that occasion that you were always going into against games happy with the way your guys played.
That's a good guess, Ray. No, you've been on our side for a little while now, so I appreciate.
I've been on your side all year, mate.
Well, there you go. So I appreciate that, and we know we can't get you guys out there all the time. You know, we had you for these 2 games, and we appreciate it. And look, we've done some dumb things during the year, our club at times, but we think we've probably come out on the not the game, but off field, and we think we've probably come out on the right side of the ledger after all the stuff we've done. We think what we needed to do to get better, we've got better, and it's a great result for us.
The boys are heading back into the rooms,
Yeah,
so we'll
better
let Andy
let him
go. Thanks for that, mate. Appreciate it. Congratulations again.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, he almost, first up, he's probably got the cans on. No, he hasn't. He was almost crying with joy.
He bleeds red and blue blood.
Yeah.
He has been there. He's been the heart and soul of that football club for such a long time. I think his official title now is football manager, but you know, he is a terrific guy.
Yeah, looking, like I said, I mean, I reckon he just hit the nail on the head. 31 points, and you know, heaps of juniors coming through. But I've been not involved, but I grew up playing football in that area, in that Ferntree Gully area, And even when Ferntree Gully weren't going well, Upper Ferntree Gully were always the big brother. They have always perennially had outstanding juniors, and their juniors in the years. Let's not talk about the senior premierships, but their juniors have won many premierships, Gav, and that is the reason why that this club is so strong.
Yeah, and I keep going back to it, but Templestowe set themselves for this premiership, Rico, and he was very gracious in defeat, congratulating the opposition, but you could see the hurt on his face as we welcome Dyson Baker back into the broadcast. How did it feel on the ground level, both sides?
Welcome me on a pretty somber note.
No, both sides, there's two sides of each.
I actually, as the Premiership medallions were getting called out, I had a chance to sort of look up and have a look across at Rick, and you could see the emotion in his face. I mean, that club's been building for what was going to be their Premiership for a number of years now, and unfortunately it hasn't happened, and they go back to the drawing board. There's a lot of work still to do there.
You sing the song again. Some wall thumping as well. They were in sync though. That was beautiful.
Given the old walls will work out, but
yeah, that's not good for Templestowe sitting next door with their head in their hands.
I'm sure you've mentioned it a few times, but I mean, Tate Hickleton, it's not often that you see a bloke get up to accept his best on ground medal, and he can't put one arm over. He can't even move one arm, let alone. So
it's a big stinger, isn't it?
I had a chat to him as he was going off. He's gone straight off to hospital to get that checked out. Unfortunate to miss a premiership photo, but you could see that he tried to hold out as long as he possibly could to get his medal. He was in a fair bit of pain and tried not to show it, but fitting that he takes home 2 medals. Hopefully go back to the hospital, get it popped back in, and then I'm sure he'll be back down at Kings Park in absolutely no time.
Yeah, look, for every winner there's always a loser, Dyson, as you said, and look, it must be really painful for Rick. This is the 3rd year in a row now that they've come up short, and look, they're a meticulous club. They plan well off the field. They've got all the people in the right place, but as yet they still. That premiership still eludes them.
Well, lately a few people have asked me, who wins? And I said, look, you might have heard me say it a few times in the last week or so. This is a game that no club could afford to lose. And I mean, you look at obviously Upper Ferntree Gully, stats were with them in terms of being a side that was going to go through undefeated and whether that was going to happen. But I mean, Templestowe's a side that realistically, Ray, has probably set itself for Division 2 3 years ago.
Oh, they've been on the trail for 3 years. You're dead right, but very similar to what Montrose went through to get out of into Division 1. And look, to me, that
they're not easy to win.
You've got to seize your opportunity. Now, okay, you might miss out the first year, but realistically, I think you've got to grab it the second year, Brash. Otherwise, just becomes that third year becomes so much harder. But Gavin, just to you mentioned before the game that Templestowe went out to Collingwood and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Mate, why would you go out to Collingwood? Obviously, you'd have
should have gone out to the Bulldogs.
That's right.
We'd know, learn a lot more.
While I think I assume Chad Rogers is down at ground level, just giving a bit of a post-match address and thanking all the people he needs to thank. We might take a short break. Hopefully the boys downstairs can hear me. We'll take a short break and we'll be coming back right after this, where it was the Kings by 31 points, premiers and champions in season 2016.
Hey, man. I've got some weekend goals. Like what? First, wake up around lunchtime. Oh, yeah. Second, go into Pancake Parlour and get one of their traditional breakfasts because it's served till 5 p.m. every day.
Oh, you got to go to Pancake Parlour for your weekend goals. Yeah, what else?
And then when I'm all full...
Yeah, like in your belly.
Just sit on the couch and watch me team kick some winning goals.
Bang! Goal!
Oh, Pancake Parlour's weekend goals.
Up and about and lovely.
Program sponsor.
A new time and a new team, driving you home in 2016. Join a brand new lineup for The Huddle as the gang take a light-hearted look at the Eastern Football League every Friday night. More importantly, the team will reveal the ins and outs for this week's round of matches. The Huddle, 4:30 to 6:30 every Friday evening as you love it local.
We want the best for our loved ones. Offer them the best advice, give them the best care. Throw the best parties to celebrate milestones and achievements. And when the time comes, you want to give them the best celebration of their life. so you wouldn't leave it to just anyone to organise. Tobin Brothers Funerals believe funerals can be a celebration of life and always strive to be innovative and contemporary. So celebrate your life the way you want. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Program sponsor.
Bigger and better in season 2016, Netball EFL is back. The fastest growing competition in the eastern suburbs continues to expand. Don't miss the fast-paced action every Friday night across multiple venues. For more information or to get involved, head to efl.org.au.
Dave and his mates are flying to the Gold Coast to watch their team play the Suns. Do they B, pay too much for a taxi, C, hope for an airport rail link this century, or D, get a lift from a mate and hope for the best when they fly home?
What about A for A1 Airport Parking?
At A1 Airport Parking, get 2 days for $25, 3 days for $34, or get 7 days parking for just $69. And at just 5 minutes from the airport, they'll get you there in time for your flight and pick you up when you get home. Show your footy or sporting club membership anytime you park and get 10% off. A1airportparking.com.au.
Program sponsor.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Just one more EFL game day remains for season 2016, and what a game day it will be next Saturday afternoon out at Bayswater Oval. But 3 out of the 4 senior premierships have been decided, 2 of them going to the foothills of the Dandenongs to the region of Ferntree Gully. Of course, the Division 4 grand final won by the Ferntree Gully Football Club this time last week. Yesterday afternoon it was Bayswater by 107 points over Wantirna South in Division 2, and this afternoon, as we mentioned, Upper Ferntree Gully getting over the line by 40 points over the Templestowe Football Club. Just quickly, a quick note on next week's game. Of course, Bayswater Oval, it kicks off in the morning with Vermont taking on Noble Park at 9:30. In the under-19s at 12 o'clock, it'll be Blackburn and Roval in the reserves. And then in the seniors, it'll be Wayne Brush's Vermont taking on the Baldwin Football Club. Are the nerves set in yet, Brush? As much as you're going to remain unbiased on the call?
Yeah, look, I'll be honest with you, Dyson. I've been involved with the Vermont Football Club for many years, not only as an official and a committee member, but, you know, look, I vividly remember the last time I was involved, I think it was 2009, in official capacity, and the nerves don't get any different.
Brash, I hope you can hold yourself together, because last week you were talking about bunnies, and today you're talking about rabbits.
I'm not talking about bunnies.
You're talking about
no,
rabbits.
We're not talking about bunnies now. Bunnies have been retired. Remember that.
Let's just hope those bunnies next week don't go into the thing.
Rabbits are something in the thingy. That's what we're talking about.
I think it's almost the perfect setup for next week, though. I mean, you've got what could almost be described as the modern-day champions taking on the champion club, really.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got a side who's been there in the last 5 years and managed to win 3 of them, and then you've got a side who probably hasn't been there as much as they would have liked in the last decade, but they are a mighty powerhouse in the Eastern Football League. 19 premierships too, and the Vermont Football Club.
I've said this many times, Dyson. I think they're working to another stage of that period of sustained success. And look, once again, I think it's going to be a fantastic. I think what really adds a little bit more interest to that game next week is the fact that Vermont beat them in the second semi-final, which gives the Vermont Football Club a lot more self-belief heading into a grand final, because if they had lost that game last week, there was probably no guarantees they were going to make it.
Yeah, very true. We might see if we can get an update from the boys downstairs, thanks to chiropractic betting. I assume that Chad Rogers still going through a bit of a post-match address. I've just seen Gus pop out. 5 minutes, we're being told. So Chad Rogers still obviously thanking everyone in the suburb of Upper Ferntree Gully.
do the awards, maybe?
I think we should go through the awards.
Grant.
Of course, the player of the day takes home this afternoon a $150 Trojan toolkit. And, of course, going the way of Tate Hickleton. I'm sure he'll be able to use that once he gets back on the mend.
He won't be using a hammer with his left hand.
So, as Ben said, he'll certainly be drinking with his left arm this evening.
Well, if he goes to the hospital and he painkillers and whatnot, it's not advisable.
Look here,
I'm not a doctor.
Whether he's on the booze or not, he'll certainly be back at Kings Park, I would suspect. The other awards we give out for this afternoon's game: the Pancake Parlour Play of the Day, a $50 Pancake Parlour voucher, open 24 hours, High Point, Doncaster, and Malvern East.
It could have been that 4 hand passes in a row Or was there another?
What about the Tate Hickleton goal?
No, that's goal of the day.
Yeah, but the way the play that he did it.
Yeah, all right. He can't win 2 awards for one passage. Come on. Who else have we got? Who finished with that goal when they just hand-passed over the top? Or was it the first quarter effort?
That was, I think, Brad Carroll finished with that goal, did he? Yep.
Well, maybe he gets it. I don't know how you work.
But he was the only man on
Was that
there.
what we're talking about, player of the day?
Player of the day.
I think it's got to be Geordie Whiteman, where he did that interception and kicked that goal.
Yeah, that's right.
No one else can remember a better one, so Geordie Whiteman is our Pancake Parlour player.
He's going to get 2.
But I thought we already, while you were down there, we already gave him the mark of the day. That
We
mark,
did.
he stood good ground over there. So
Can we give him 2
awards?
Yeah, I think we can.
Okay.
To be
Because he
honest,
nearly got a second medal.
Yeah, to be honest, in the voting, he was actually only a few off winning the Les Leading medal as well. So, fitting that he takes home the Pancake Parlour Player of the Day. He also, as you boys mentioned, takes home the A1 Airport Parking Mark of the Day for his effort in the second term. The chiropractic betting goal of the day this afternoon. Any contenders?
No, well, unfortunately, I think Tate Hickleton's
He's all
goal.
of the contenders.
Yeah, it's all like a lay down misere, I reckon, that goal.
He contended for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
He'll certainly be enjoying a $50 A1 Airport Parking, a $100 chiropractic betting voucher.
It's 50 when you're finished with it.
And go and have a good night's sleep after a great goal. I've still been given 5 minutes from Gus, even though we've just taken 5 minutes.
No, it ticks down, Gus, not up.
Feel free to give us some atmosphere from ground level, Gus.
There's not a whole lot going on down here. The post-game address is still going on, and I'm trying to get my head inside, but I'm getting absolutely donuts.
You've never seen a man so excited just be sitting on the boundary line. Gus McLeod is just lounging back.
Hey, Gus,
is there anyone else who we can pick up maybe at ground level?
It's not a G
Isn't
rating
actually
with
in
the
room?
Upper Ferntree Gully.
Yeah, well, BWS took a beer from the Upper Ferntree Gully rooms and then departed quite quickly with it, so he's gone.
He doesn't muck around.
No, he's in there and out.
And we've lost Josh Dorr in the pack.
Yeah,
Having said that,
he's
trying to get into the Bayswater rooms yesterday afternoon, it's like a genuine scrum.
It is. I tried to push my way in there and I just couldn't. I just got stuck by Upper Ferntree Gully supporters.
And anyone who's seen Gus will know that's a pretty mean feat. That me and him can't push into the rooms.
Hey, Gus,
it's pretty big.
Gus, while you're waiting that 5 minutes, mate, how about going out there and giving us a pitch report?
I'll do it from right here, mate. It's a pretty nice grass coverage. I'll get the key out if you like.
I reckon every person who we would want to talk to must be in the Upper Ferntree Gully rooms.
You're not wrong.
So this ground will see much more Division 3 football than it ever has in its history.
It will there.
Yeah.
Yes, well, that's right.
Well, East Burwood coming back down next year. So, look, that's...
Former glories. At least they'll get the Division 2 grand final here next year.
Yeah, well, we don't know about that yet, just yet.
Still a long way to go.
They're one of the contenders.
Should we go through our 3, 2, 1 while we wait for an interview? So I think I might have been the same as you, Gavin.
Yes.
I gave 3 to Hickleton, 2 to Whiteman, and 1 to Lachlan. Was that you?
Yep.
Yeah.
And BWS, by the way.
I thought they were the 3 and 2. I reckon everyone would have had a similar Cornella, but Lachlan, I just noticed him every quarter, and just as I was about to do my votes, he had 2 good touches, so I actually changed my mind and gave him 1.
He didn't. When I was talking about missing targets, he never missed. He was a. I don't know. Effectiveness, efficiency with kicks, 100%.
Yeah, we've got there in the end, and at ground level, Josh Jaw has finally managed to pull someone out of the Upper Ferntree Gully rooms. All thanks to chiropractic betting, JD.
I think the boys sung the song 3 times in there. No one wanted to come out. I'm down here with Ryan Silver, one of the superb defenders for the Upper Ferntree Gully today, mate. What are the feelings? I said you were in the room for a fair bit. What was the message from the coach and the boys?
They were just talking about how proud they were for all of us. As they said, strong committee equals strong off and on-field performances, and it really helped us throughout the year because they are a very small committee, and just the effort from all the coaches and all the players all year. To go through undefeated is pretty amazing. Who would have thought? Especially coming from last year, Templestowe is such a strong side, and it's just all worked out for us this year.
An incredible season down back that you were lucky enough to be a part of. That back 6, and I guess there's probably guys that flow through there during the day. It's an incredible unit. I was talking before to one of the assistant coaches that they only conceded more than 10 goals on one occasion, I think, all year. It's a pretty special setup down there.
Yeah, it just flowed somehow. all year. We didn't think it would go that well, but we just gelled really well, and especially with the older heads, not super old, but Callis especially. His talk and communication with all the boys and his smarts and all that is just amazing. And having Andrew Godfrey back as well, and the Galley brothers and Tappers, they're just stars.
Over to you boys up there.
Hey Ryan, it's Gavin here, and Adrian Tapscott, one of those old heads. He has just the calmness, and he just sort of sets the scene for you down back, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's one of the most composed players in our team, that's for sure. He's not the quickest, but he's one of the most composed. So it just helps us out having those players around, and his disposal and decision making is just amazing. And
you were steady down the field, but I like Godfrey. He wasn't far off you all the time. You seemed to connect really well with Godfrey.
Yeah, he's more of the running halfback, which is I'm happy for him to do because he's just a super good player. Obviously coming back from Casey, but yeah, we just somehow always find ourselves to have one or two with us to help us out, and yeah.
Ryan, congratulations. One of the things I noticed about your game today, and congratulations on it, when Adrian went off injured, you seemed to go up another notch. How did you rate your own performance? Because I thought it was probably one of the best games you played for Upper Ferntree Gully.
Yeah, thanks for that. I just all this year, every game we played against Templestowe, just everyone's put their head in, and it's just worked. And yeah, I just try to do my best each week and beat my man, and that's all you can do. And yeah, so it's amazing.
One of the things I've noticed, there's a lot of camaraderie down there, especially amongst the younger brigade, mate. There's a lot of young blokes imposing their will on the Upper Ferntree Gully senior side now, and it must be really a great place to be around with so many young guys and very talented footballers.
Yeah, Carmen, Tom and Corey are still under 19s. They could have played this year, and they all stepped up today and all year, just with their speed, strength, and they're just growing as footballers real quick. So that's good for the club's future, and hopefully can keep succeeding.
Ryan, a lot of people said that it wasn't necessarily a team of champions, but you've certainly proven to be a champion team this afternoon. All the best and enjoy the celebrations.
Too easy. Cheers, fellas.
Thanks very much to Ryan Silver. Premiership player with the Upper Ferntree Gully Football Club, and after it took him 10 minutes to finally get a guess, we'll start rolling them through, because Gus McLeod has managed to pull Brad Carroll out of the pack, and we'll cross down to him now, all thanks to Chiropractic Betting. Gus McLeod is with Brad Carroll.
I do have Brad Carroll with me. Brad, 2 goals today, mate. It was a cracking game of footy. Talk us through the role you played today, mate.
I was just playing the number 6. We just roll out to the back of the stoppage and then just try and stop their run from half back. So
obviously, you guys had an encounter with them 2 weeks ago. Did you expect the game to be such a whitewash like it was today?
Oh, we expected them to come out pretty hard, but we knew with the 2 weeks off we've had that we could probably overrun them, and that sort of showed it towards the end. So
obviously, Tate Hickleton done his shoulder. Can you explain us through what happened out there?
I think it was in the celebration.
Who's copping the fine?
He does love a celebration, so
yes.
Yeah.
Brad, it's Dyson Baker up in the box, mate. Not a long-term Upper Ferntree Gully football, Upper Gully player, but certainly become part of the wallpaper now with a Premiership medallion. How does it feel? You're around boys now who have been at this club lifelong. How does it feel to be part of it?
It feels actually this is my second flag here, so I come in 2010,
of course, yes.
And actually second year I was here, so this is a bit better feeling. I probably didn't treasure the first one as much as I did, but this one definitely feels a lot better.
Oh, Tate obviously had all the highlights, but one of the best highlights when you ran onto the ball off the marking contest and 2 bounces into the goal square and you kicked it into the next suburb. Was your heart racing when you just knew you were running in an open goal?
Yeah, I didn't want to actually bounce the ball and then miss it. So that second bounce, once it popped up to me, I knew I was safe anyway. So.
And who do you reckon the leading lights on? Who set the standard? Because we can easily say Hickleton did this, Hickleton did that, but in the middle, you dominated the game.
I think Tim, obviously our skipper, Tim, still set the tone. Didn't allow both Mariani boys to run through at the stoppages, and just his corralling around the sort of stoppages sort of set us up for stoppage after stoppage. And then I think once we got the ball out wide, we were able to run. So.
Congratulations, Brad. Fantastic effort being part of another successful Upper Ferntree Gully campaign. What's the future hold for yourself, mate?
I'm in a bit of limbo at the moment. I think the body's sort of saying that's enough, but the heart still says keep going. So I won't make any decisions yet, but I'll...
enjoy the night, though.
Absolutely enjoy the night and see what happens.
Brad, we'll let you go and celebrate. Enjoy the win. All the best.
Thanks very much.
Thanks very much to Brad Carroll down at Boundary Side. All thanks to chiropractic betting.
That'll be his last Powerade for the year.
Yeah.
It'll be an amber Powerade.
Yeah. So he's deserved that. I reckon he was a bit of, when you look back, you could name every player did their role, but his 2 goals was quite exciting and made a great impact.
We'll keep the boys running through. We've still got another 15 minutes or so to get through, so we'll make sure that we keep getting our guests coming through.
Well,
JD,
he's got
a bit
Lachlan behind them.
Here we go.
Now Tim Risley. Here we go.
Ben Warren Smith has just done some beautiful work Boundary Side and managed to pluck the captain out.
Experienced kid.
Got the double can.
So we'll head down Boundary Side once again, JD.
Thank you, boys. Yes, I've got the Premiership captain here with me, Tim Risley. Mate, you've done a lot before already, a Premiership player, league best and fairest winner. How does today rank amongst some of your best achievements at this football club?
Anyone that's playing footy knows Premierships are why you play. And this one's more special than the last one. Doing undefeated at the start of the season, not many people gave us a chance, and this is unbelievable.
I want to speak about that undefeated season. As a captain, how hard is it to keep the guys pushing on with the aim of a premiership, the ultimate goal? It's obviously very hard to keep motivation going, even when you're winning. It must have been a hard task, but you've obviously been able to do it today because with that championship season.
It is very, very hard. A lot of times during the season we were going to drop one and we probably shouldn't have, but we just found a way. To stay up every week, and we're always being hunted, and everyone sets himself to play against us, and it's unbelievable effort for us to get through undefeated.
Over to you, boys.
Tim, it's Dyson up here, mate. There's a few recruits in this side. There's a few younger heads, but for that core group of the older blokes that sort of came through with yourself, it must be pretty sweet.
It is, yeah. I've played. There's 5 Premiership players, I think, from the last one, and a lot of guys that have come in and we've gelled really well. It's just been an unbelievable season. I've never experienced anything like it.
Tim, what would have kept you motivated was the rivalry created with Templestowe. You wouldn't have kept undefeated without them pushing you, I think. But today, you made a point of finishing them off. When you had them, you did all the hard work today.
Yeah, we did. Look, we worked as hard as we could in the first quarter. I mean, it wasn't much of a breeze, but it was still the scoring end. Worked hard against it, and we thought we played pretty well up to half-time. And then we thought if we could sort of hold them in the third quarter, we felt like we'd be able to run over the top of them because they've played an extra 2 games during the final series, and we were able to do that.
It's right here, Tim. Look, congratulations. Not on the Premiership, mate, but on today's performance, you actually made it into Wayne Brasher's top 50 players, mate.
Yeah, well, that's why I play, isn't it?
All yours, Dice.
We'll let you go and celebrate, mate. This is one for the ages, one that's pretty sweet, and hopefully you'll get to see your old mate Tate Hickleton at some stage this evening.
Look, I'm wrapped for him. He actually deserved this best on ground. Last one, he was disgraceful. I don't know how he won it, but he deserved it. Some of those goals he kicked, he's a freak.
Just a quick one, Tim. You know, you're only one of 15 sides that have ever gone undefeated in a season in the AFL.
Is that right?
The second time in the club to do it, back since 1974 was the last time the Gully did it.
Didn't know that, but it's not easy. Just like I said, staying up every week. But yeah, we were able to do it, and we're going to celebrate hard.
Yeah, may as well enjoy it, mate. Kings Park will be rocking tonight.
Come down, boys.
Thanks very much to Tim Risley, the skipper, Premiership skipper of the Upper Ferntree Gully Kings, and they were fantastic this afternoon. It was going to take a monumental effort to win the way they did, and they did it in every single quarter.
I got to say, Dyson, if I actually end up going down to Upper Ferntree Gully, I don't think I'd get home tonight.
Well, I don't think anyone will leave the ground.
Not
a fit state.
Well, the stories I've heard from Bayswater yesterday, I hate to think what's going to happen down the main street, down Burwood Highway this afternoon.
They'll be having a ticker tape parade on Monday down along the Burwood Highway. They're both Ferntree Gully sides with all the streamers. Who needs a grand final parade when you can go down there next Monday? Wouldn't it be good?
Yeah, it's going to be a big one. we'll get the boys to make their way back up, which I think they're doing. We've still got a few more minutes to start wrapping up, but a fantastic effort from everyone involved in this weekend. It's the biggest weekend in the Eastern Football League for the year, and particularly, I mean, the EFL staff, I know they bust their backsides all weekend, but they get paid for it. The biggest thing is for us is the volunteers that work hard, and I'll let you go, Ray, before I start wrapping you up.
No, look, we reckon we work hard, boys, but have a look at the central field umpire, Warren Hill. He's over there sweeping the club rooms out, so that's how good he went today.
Is that your penance for a poor performance?
I was about to say. More the fact that you had to actually
get him over and ask him why were we having a discussion on who kicked the goal and why can't we agree on certain free kicks.
never one to shy away from a microphone. We may as well get you on, mate. Very good afternoon to Warren Hillier.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
When you called a goal, it was off the toe from Hickleton.
Yep.
You had a bit of a dispute. You had to tell it back in your box. Is that right?
I had to tell Jordan Buckingham to get out of the game. He's retiring after today, and good on him for a wonderful career. But that was my time to shine, not his.
And then soon after, there was another free kick where it was one was holding the ball and one was over the shoulder.
Yep.
So that was funny moment for you.
I was out of zone umpire. I saw the tackle itself came down on top of his shoulders. The other umpire was blinded by the actual tackle, but the tackle has to be fair for it to be a holding the ball. So that overrules the holding the ball decision.
Just a quick one. Did you find it was a fiery contest? It was willing?
No, not really. I think everyone played it in really good, fair spirits, considering what's on the line. Everyone was going in hard. Very contested footy, but you know, at the bottom of the pack, you called for a ball up, and everyone was really quite friendly on the ground. So it was really good to see.
Well umpired.
You become the second umpire to umpire a Division 3 game, and then get called into media duties after Paul Manalitsis, and you've just been caught by Dave Parker. So there's no way of getting out of this one.
Meet the EFL's new Derek Humphrey-Smith.
Always happy to help out, boys.
At least he can bounce the ball.
Yeah.
We take the proverbial out of you, but it was really a hard contested game of footy at ground level.
Yeah, no, look, it was the Templestowe certainly didn't take a backward step. They were in there all day, giving their best. Unfortunately, you know, Upper Gully were just a bit too clean, getting the ball out of the packs and then having a free runner and getting the ball moving. So ultimately, that's what won them the game in my eyes.
Yeah, we need our special commentators weren't too good today.
No.
We're going to mic you up and get special comments from you on the field.
We'll let you get back to your...
We had one momentary lapse of reason, and you want to crucify us, G. Casey.
Just went silent for a moment.
We'll let you get back to your broom, Sadie, and you can finish up your cleaning duties this afternoon. Thanks very much, Warren.
Good call. Well done, boys. Cheers.
Thanks very much to Warren Hillier, senior umpire in this afternoon's game.
Back to the broom.
He's cleaning up. There was a EFLUA Life Members function. Dave Parker, you'll be next. Don't worry about that when you do the reserves next week.
What, you already given him his appointment, have you?
19s if you're lucky. We'll start wrapping up here and we'll get back on ship. Starting, of course, he wasn't on air this afternoon, but he did a fantastic job in the under-19s and reserve. The Brett Beston, fantastic work. It's been a big weekend for him, as it has to everyone. He was on at half-time, of course. He was sitting right next to me.
Gee, you got a short memory.
Oh, it's been a long weekend, Brash. It's been a long weekend. Josh Jaw, great work from you on the boundary. Another one who's worked tirelessly over the last 2 days.
Cheers, Dice. Yeah, no, it was a fantastic day. Always love being on the boundary line to have a bit of a witness of all the emotions and celebrations that are going down there, and it'll be a big night for the Kings back at the home ground.
Certainly will, and your partner in crime, Gus McLeod, working feverishly boundary side. We'll see you again next week, mate.
Certainly will, Dyson. Thanks for having me today, and I'm looking forward to the Burners getting a flag in the Rezzies next week over your boys, Ray. I'm looking forward to that one, mate.
You can look forward to it. It won't happen, mate.
The McLeod... Anyone
the one
that
you drink your coffee out of.
Grant Subi Campbell, great work from you, mate, as always.
Yeah, great
Back
game.
up for the first Sunday of the year?
Yeah, I only do the important ones.
Only do grand finals.
Yeah.
And Wayne Brasher, great work from you this afternoon, mate. You've backed up 2 days in a row and done it to a plum.
Thank you very much, and it's rabbits in the spotlight, not rabbits in the thingy.
It only took him a couple of hours, but he got there eventually. Ray Baird, I don't know. You might be better looking than Leo, mate. You replaced him this afternoon and did a great job.
Thank you, Dyson. Look, we've had three.
Feel free to give Otis a whack as well.
I know.
I know he'll be listening.
We've had three great grand finals, all completely different, but all very exciting in their own, each and own way. And don't forget the huddle next Friday night either, boys, at Pancake Parlour.
Of course. We're going to Knox Ozone. Gav Casey, your work brilliant this afternoon. The Sunday specialist.
Yeah, well, I've got some with BWS getting a good Sunday team going broadcast-wise.
It was a really good broadcast today. In fact, the whole weekend's been a great time, Dyson, I reckon.
Certainly was, and the man you can thank for it is the broadcast manager of the Eastern Football League, Ben Warren-Smith.
Yeah, great effort by the team all weekend, and congratulations to both the Bayswater Football Club and, of course, Upper Ferntree Gully today, premiers in season 2016, and some big crowds across the Eastern Football League, some well-behaved crowds as well, and some really good umpiring, so some spectacles right across all 6 games over the last couple of days, so well done to everybody involved in the league. It's certainly gone off without a hitch, and we really look forward to the big dance now next Saturday afternoon out at Bayswater Oval between Vermont and Balwyn. That should be an absolute cracker, but of course, yeah, great job by everyone across the team across the 2 days. Magnificent effort. Very proud of that, Dice.
Yeah, it certainly was, and of course, the man that puts us to air every Saturday and Sunday afternoon, the man you can hear from a mile away when he giggles, is Bruce Press from the Loft Productions. Thank you very much to you, to John and Lee, of course, from LKLM Media or Sports Vision or whatever they're calling themselves these days, of the cast of thousands that they brought with them this afternoon.
They never bring lollies, though.
Perfect.
They eat our lollies.
Yeah, no, and hot dogs. Perfectly done.
The hot dogs. You won't get over it.
He's still thinking about it.
I'm just going to make sure I get one next week.
A really big thing that's come out of today is the greatest call that's ever been said on air too, and that Wayne Brasher and the thing.
That one will be
just unbelievable.
That one will be played on loop when
we might even put it on a commercial ad next year or something.
Yeah, that'll be
God.
That'll be Brasher charging into Division 2.
Can't we put the Chivas Regal one on instead?
I found it quite funny that you went with running into Division 2 this year as opposed to last year
I had to
when
change
Mitchell
it
was
up,
charging into Division 2.
I had to change it up, didn't I?
Finally, before we get going, thanks very much to the Eastfield Football Club for their
fantastic
support over the final series. They've always been welcoming.
They make the best sandwiches
that.
in the Eastern Football League. There is no doubt about that.
Kim's in earshot, so thanks very much, Kim.
And Dyson's pretty wrapped. They've closed the bar because it was his shout once again, so he's just stoked about that.
Short arms, deep pockets.
And we've got a big night coming up during the week, Dyson. Give that a bit of a plug.
Yeah, we certainly do. The Huddle's going to be on air twice during next week. On Wednesday night, there's a special edition of The Huddle, which will be out at the Manningham Function Centre from 6 till 7, and we'll chat to a few guests as they make their way in. They mosey their way on in.
You're streaming that as well, aren't you? I can watch that in Sydney.
We'll be streaming that on YouTube and on Facebook.
Awesome.
So we've got all sorts of bugs fixed on that one, so we'll have both those streaming. And then, as Brash mentioned, as Ray mentioned, next Friday evening from 4:30 till 6:30, we'll be out at Pancake Parlour at Knox Ozone.
Another free feed for you, Ray.
Make sure you come down and say hi, because we'd love to have a chat to you. I'm sure Ray would love all these fans to make their way down. That about wraps us up here from Eastfield Reserve. Thanks very much to the team. Congratulations to all the premiers this weekend. Of course, it was Lilydale yesterday in the under-19s to Bayswater in the reserves and to Bayswater in the seniors yesterday. And then this morning it was Park Orchard's victorious over Upper Ferntree Gully, Templestowe in the reserves, and a great win by the Kings. They take the throne into season 2017 with a big win by 41 points over Templestowe. That's been EFL Game Day for the penultimate round of the Eastern Football League season. We thank you for joining us, and make sure you tune in next week, next Friday evening for the Huddle, next Saturday afternoon for the biggest day on the Eastern Football League calendar. It'll be the Tigers and the Eagles. It'll be Balwyn taking on Vermont. Make sure you don't miss out on that one at 1 o'clock next Saturday afternoon. It's sure to be a big one. That's all from us here at Eastfield Reserve, wrapping up a big weekend of Eastern Football League football. That's EFL Game Day for this weekend.
Hey, man.
Yeah, man.
I've got some...